Hello and welcome!
Hello.
We are Small and Mighty, and today we're going to be playing some D&D.
Are
How
we?
are you all doing?
I didn't
Oh,
know.
I
Oh
know,
my
it's
god.
absolutely surprised. Every week, every time, Unai's so surprised that we're playing D&D.
Yeah, I didn't.
Despite, running the D&D stream. But,
It's right.
we cope. We cope.
Yeah.
How are you all doing?
Good.
Excited to play?
Yeah.
Yes.
Very good. You'll probably notice we're down to Ryan this week, unfortunately, so we'll share out responsibility of Brask as and when it comes appropriate. But
It's
Cool.
just because Brask nearly died last session. He's like,
Yeah.
nah,
Gotta take a break.
it's too stressful for Ryan. Ryan's had to take a
Yeah.
little stress break.
It's fine.
Yeah.
We love him.
Yeah, it's not only characters that need a long rest.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
We're coaxing him back into playing, but right now he's hiding like a ball in the
Yeah.
corner.
Yeah.
So Ryan's not here to defend himself, so we can say
Just
anything we want about him.
That.
He's a
corner.
big idiot. He's a big idiot.
Oh my god.
Nailed it.
Guys, you're watching. No, it's fine. Cool.
Anyway. Cool. Yes, so the plan is we're going to play for about 2-3 hours today. Short break about an hour in, as always. But this is D&D and improv, so who the fuck knows what's going to happen?
That's
We'll
it.
see.
That's why we rate it not PG.
Yeah, when you get a swear word in at the first sort of 20 seconds, otherwise it gets dubious.
Yeah. We're gonna come.
Um,
We're gonna start it with fucking welcome to this fucking. Sorry, today I'm very chatty and I have to shut up.
We have a D&D Beyond overlay that we like very
We do.
much. It should be on. I will one day figure out which side of the screen. One of these sides of the screen. You can open it. You can look at it. You can see HPs. You can see that everyone's very low on HP right now because they got a bit roughed up last
Nice
time.
overlay.
But yes,
Yeah, everyone's low on HP. Adam.
I mean, yeah, I'm pretty good.
It's not that bad.
I love how Chad is visually the stereotypical tank, and yet took no damage in that fight.
Yeah.
But speaking of Chad, you do have the inspiration token this week, Will.
Ooh.
Your daring antics charging around the battlefield and taking no damage, I think. Yes, so you have the inspiration token. You can do with that as you want. Let's jump into a recap. So I've got my questions ready to go.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Best part of every session.
Yeah. I'm actually
Wow.
leaving straight after these.
Yeah,
Yeah. Me too.
So question 1. Last session, you fought 2 of what kind of creatures?
Oh, ding 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 ding.
Go on, Will, you
Oh,
first.
shit, well,
I think.
Wyverns.
Wyverns.
Yeah.
Do you remember specifically what kind of wyverns?
They were feral.
Feral
wyverns.
wyverns.
Wyverns, wyverns, whichever way round.
Wyverns.
Wyverns. Wyverns.
Wyverns.
Yeah, because they
yes.
make you wonder why. Why are they there?
Why?
Why?
Yes, they were feral wyverns, and I think some of you did a history check or a card check or something and found out that these are once noble beasts ridden by the elves of old fighting against the dragons, but many of them have since gone native,
Gone
so
rogue.
to speak, gone rogue, and have become these sort of muddy brown scaled things that are quite vicious and masterless these days. During that fight that you had quite a bit of trouble with, 3 players went unconscious in the fight. Which 3?
Ding.
Phil?
Ding ding. Ding ding.
Yes, you were one of them.
Pebble. No. Well, unconscious. Does the meal count as no? Alright.
Alright, 4 people went unconscious.
Oh, very good.
No, I said 3 players.
Oh, damn it.
I got it. I know.
Pebble. No, one sec. I knew, but
3,
now.
2.
No, it's Sarah.
One.
Sarah.
Alright, over to Sarah.
Sorry.
Pebble and Christina Brask.
Correct.
Yes.
Pebble, Christina, Brass, all
Fair enough.
unconscious.
Rusk as
Pebble,
well. I
Christina.
didn't remember that. Oh my god.
So yeah, Pebble and
Yeah.
Christina, you went down from kind of the early doors when there was sort of
Yeah.
a surprise
Ooh.
second wyvern.
Yeah, Brask was the entire moment we had.
But Brass, yeah, intimidated the beast, and then it went toe to toe with him, and he almost didn't come off the better for it.
Oh my god. Intense.
Speaking of which, while Brass was dying, he had a memory flash before his eyes. What was it?
Ding 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 ding.
Go on, Verity.
He was he was being bullied by some bigger kraken,
Yes.
and then someone came to help him.
Yes.
I can't remember if it was like a school or like a
it
training
was-
ground.
It was vaguely said as the equivalent of a schoolyard,
Mm, mm.
whatever that
Cool.
means. Which
Playground.
didn't go into, yeah, probably that kind of thing. We didn't go into too much more details, but yes. So as Ryan has mentioned before, Brask is, despite being 7 foot tall, is the runt of the litter of his little tribe, and he had a vision of being beaten up by bigger and older Draken. But he pulled through as a friend came to save him.
Lovely.
You dispatched the creatures, more or less, almost brought them down, but they retreated at the final moment. And as the sort of tension was sort of resting and things were calming down, you noticed an unusual thing had happened to Pebble during the fight.
Oh yeah.
What was it?
Ding 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 ding.
Go on, and I.
have a little eye here.
Oh, I forgot about this.
Pebble has a third eye in the center of his head.
We have to establish if it's like a left or a right eye, and if it's like turned on its side, or it's like a
don't worry.
symmetrical
I
thing.
I have things
Is
for
it this big?
I have things. We'll come to that in a second.
You're gonna have to
Um,
get Pebble a hat.
So one
It's actually
last
just
thing.
a very small letter I.
Yeah, sorry.
So just one last thing before we jump in.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna be phasing out the lingering injury rules we're using because I think we keep forgetting to use them. I'm gonna start using a new set of rules that are coming in the one of the D&D books, the Van Richten's Guide to Ravenloft, called stress points. They apply at certain times. They're quite simple. What they are is when you accrue a stress point, you have a -1 to your ability checks, attack rolls, and saving throws. Essentially, anytime you roll a d20, you lose 1 point for the total.
Hmm.
I've already added these in D&D Beyond, and it actually does it all automatically, so you don't even need to think about it. But Brask,
Fantastic.
Pebble, and Christina, you have been given a stress point. So
Yay,
on your
anxiety
character sheets,
points.
everything will be 1 less. Again, it does it automatically, so you don't need to think about
Cool.
it. As to how you heal from a stress point, that you'll have to figure out. 'Cause I'm not going to tell you. Will, what were you going to say?
Sorry, is that the exhaustion points?
No,
on
that is
D&D
something
Beyond?
else.
Ooh.
Exhaustion point
Exhaustion
is,
when you don't sleep.
yeah, exhaustion
and
when you
rest.
sleep. Which is also worth mentioning. You guys are at risk of getting an exhaustion point because you've pushed through the night, past the point of sleeping, and then been attacked. So that's what you're going to consider. But yes, so we will pick up moments after battle. You are, the actual adrenaline starting to wear down now. Pebble and Christina, like you've not been out in the wilds that much in your lives, and to face such ferocious beasts and be brought so close to the brink of death, that is weighing heavily on you. You can feel the tension in your shoulders. Your breathing is still labored as you just feel very stressed right now. Just before we go do with Anesri, I think the last thing we left was Tali and Christina noticing. I think Verity, you had quite an audible response to finding out that Pebble had a third eye. So, but we'll put that in a second.
Yeah, I mean,
Chad?
yeah, it's fine.
Chad, do you still and Brass still intend to go off to try and find these wyverns and their nests?
Oh, so that was to add context. Chad's intention there wasn't that we now immediately derail what we're doing now, but just like a one day,
some point.
yeah, we will, yeah, we'll go and we'll
Okay,
get revenge for you. That's what he was getting at there.
Yeah. So here's the thing. I think you were thinking that. I don't think Brass was thinking that.
Right? Yes.
Tali does want to do something, but it's kind of not related, so I can wait.
Yeah, we'll come to that in a second. But yeah, basically, okay. I'm not going to try and voice this character. I always do it really badly. But Brask is trying to he's talking about going to find these wyverns now. You can see he's having a momentary breather, but then it's like we should go find them. So Chad, are you doing anything to dissuade him, or are you trying to encourage him? What are you doing?
Brask, no, sorry, dear chap, I didn't mean literally right now. We've got all this time. You can prove your strength. We can both prove our strength and get stronger and all of that stuff together over time, and we can start doing that. But we don't need to go and get those wyverns right now. We don't even know really where they are. So that's actually we can that's something for us to do another time. Yeah.
Make a persuasion check.
So it's my first time using it on here, and trying to remember where my things are.
Oh, no.
Persuasion. Oh dear, that's a 9.
Whoa.
Your words, they're clearly not going in a Brass head. He's just like, but the trail is getting cold, and they're weak. And he basically starts just rambling on about now's the time to strike. They're weak. We're going to lose the trail. And you can see although he's very injured, clearly trying to catch his breath before still very amped up and ready to go.
Right.
Well, seems like we're in a bit of a pickle.
So Chad wants to. So Chad.
And at the moment, you can see that your other three companions are dealing with another situation slightly off to the side.
Yeah.
As there's an
Yeah.
audible gasp from Christina looking at Pebble. But so,
Tell me if we have gone off by ourselves, just a little way away from the group. But again,
sure, I mean, yes, you have only just noticed Pebbles.
no, but she wants to immediately
Sure.
go pray, basically.
Alright. I'll tell you what, while Chad, you're thinking about how you would deal with Brass, we'll jump over to the...
Because like she would kind of like just give me a minute, and she'll walk away from Pebble and Christina, and she'll go like to, I guess more to like out near the water where we were, like yeah, kind of where that donkey was. Donkey
Yeah.
that's very dead. And she wants to pray.
What are you saying?
She's kind of gonna say something along the lines of like Inton, please guide this poor creature's soul back to where it needs to be. Like, make sure that it gets, it completes its journey. But also, if not too busy, the wyverns, I don't think they were hungry. I think they were hungry. They're lost. Can you please help them find some food and rest and I didn't want to kill them, so could you just help them find their way in this land? Because I don't think it's the time to go yet.
Yeah, okay. So you take this moment to... Are you audibly saying it, or are you just internally?
No, yeah, she'd probably audibly be saying it.
Okay.
And she just seems very, very like deeply sad.
Yeah. Just maybe a wisdom check.
I can do that. Just a straight wisdom.
Straight wisdom.
19.
19, okay. Yeah. So you say these words, and they obviously you mutter them under breath, but you do find there's almost like a strange echo, as if they're almost like carried further than you would expect, despite there being nothing around to echo off of.
Nice.
That's nice.
While that's happening, so Pebble and Christina, you are momentarily left, the two of you, while Tali goes off, and you can hear her muttering, sounds like in prayer. But yes, Christina, you're staring at Pebble, and there is this eye just open in the center of his head. And it is strange, because at an immediate glance, it's not a human eye, there's something odd about it. The black of the pupil, it seems expanded almost right up to the edge of the eye. There's very little of the white of it, and there's no coloured iris of it. It's almost like a completely black eye, with just a tiny bit of white. There's something strange about it.
Do I know? Sorry, yeah, go on, Christina, first. And then...
I'm wondering if I do an Arcana check, because I've seen this before where I'm from.
Yeah. Alright, roll me an Arcana check. What were you going to ask in the meantime, Pebble?
I don't know, I suppose Christina and Tali have let Pebble know, but would I, feel any different? That's, my question. Maybe we can go to that later.
No. So while you're, now that you're starting to, pay attention to this, because, in the adrenaline of battle, there was a lot going on, it's very strange. There's just a time when you can now see more. You have additional vision. You have this strange third point of view, and your sight is just enhanced.
Okay.
You can see through this third eye. Even if you close your two eyes, you realize you still can see. You can blink of it independently,
Nice.
and it's very strange because it happened in the heat of battle. You're not even conscious of a switch. It's just happened to you.
Is it another way of seeing things, or is it just better?
Yeah, it's
For
not
now.
it's not like you have night vision or infrared or anything like that. It just seems
That
to
way.
be a third eye.
Cool.
Mechanically speaking, Unai, you now have advantage in all perception checks.
Okay. So it is a bit mystical.
But
yeah.
in terms of you can now you're aware of it. You can feel that there is an eye there. If you sort of reach around it, you feel the skin is ever so slightly raised around this eye, and it's about the same size as your other two eyes. And again, you cannot see it at the moment unless you go to look at the water reflection. Yeah, it is not a human eye. Christina, what did you get in your check?
I got 22.
22, excellent.
Fucking hell,
You have heard of things like this happening before. You come from a very magical society. It's not a very common thing, but you are aware that it's not. It's very rarely is an intentional thing. There's a type of magic that is referred to as wild magic. It's from people who can't entirely control their magic, and when they do things, sometimes unintentional consequences happen. And you've heard about people having all sorts of strange ailments. Some of them get a third eye, some of them turn blue, some of them lose all their hair, strange things like that. Usually they can be resolved through a magical restoration, but some of them have sort of benefits like this. However, you're not aware of anyone. Usually when they have a third eye, it matches their main eyes. The fact that Pebbles is different is odd to you.
Well, I mean, it just gives you another point of view. Sorry. I'm cancelled now.
You take 4 points of psychic damage. No.
Good.
But yeah. And if you want, Christina, if you make me an intelligence check, see if you can figure out, like, what kind of eye it is. Like, if you recognize the eye. And I'm going to check your sheet to see if there's anything relevant to it.
12.
12, okay.
Hang on. No, sorry, I just did a saving throw.
Yeah. No, it should be the
Am I?
same, don't it? Yeah, you're fine. You're not proficient in intelligence saving throw, so it will be the same. You can't quite place exactly what it is, but your instinct is that it's an animal eye. It looks animalistic. It doesn't look. It's not like it's some strange, like, demonic or anything. It looks kind of natural, but it looks like an animal's eye is on the center of Pebble's forehead. So it looks almost like his human eyes, but just something slightly different.
Cool.
But you can't. You're not. You having grown up in sort of a mansion and living, you didn't deal with farm animals or wild beasts or anything like that. Like, you can't immediately place what kind of eye it is. But it's very clear to you that it is an animal's eye that is grown in the center of his forehead.
Cool.
Well then, that's that.
Nice.
So I'm gonna. Pebble,
Yes.
are you feeling alright?
Yeah. Am I feeling alright? DM? Yeah.
Apart from
right?
being obviously
Absolutely. I mean, well,
very
yeah, within
apart from
context.
being stressed and beating within an inch of your life for a while and going up and down again, you don't feel the best right now. But nothing specifically about the eye is making you feel weird, apart from the fact that you have a third eye.
So Pebble would be like a bit shook, like just looking at his hand and looking at like how his hand like and just blinking differently with each. Like, and I'm like,
Yeah.
Wow, this is trippy. But yeah, I mean it doesn't hurt or anything, so I guess it's fine.
How many fingers am I holding up?
I mean 3. That didn't even. I mean I'm not more blind. I have like, if anything, I see better now, I guess. Let's do a little test. Hold your finger.
How many fingers am I holding up?
4.
So are you? Yeah, you're blocking your two
But yeah,
main
I'm
eyes.
doing
But yes, yeah, you can see that Christina is holding up the amount of fingers she's holding up.
Cool.
Okay.
Fantastic.
As Christina's gonna choose not to mention the third eye just yet. Just be like, well, it's good to know that you came out all right in the end.
I mean,
But
but
you are, like, Tali did mention
at
that
this point, yeah, Pebble.
Oh,
I think Pebble knows already. So
Pebble is aware that he is figuring it out.
Just-
But
Okay.
I'm just weirded out. Like I'm feeling. I mean, I'm feeling rough, but not because of this. I hope it doesn't. I hope it's not like a curse or anything.
Well, sometimes things happen in life you cannot control.
They do.
We've got to learn how to live with ourselves and move forward.
Yep.
That's my wisdom for the night. You're welcome.
Thank you.
cool. So while that conversation's happening, Chad, have you figured out how you're going to try and placate your aggressive
Yeah.
dragon friend?
So So I'm aware I'm not going to try and persuade him again because I don't want to just keep on repeating the
Yeah.
same checks. So Chad is going to put himself physically in front
Yeah.
of Brask wherever he's
Yeah,
going.
you can see Brass has had like a bit of a breather now and it's starting to stand up.
Yeah. And Chad's going to say, Brask, I believe that you can be strong and that we will do this together, but you are not going to go after these wyverns now. I will not let you do that.
Ooh, all right.
If you- And so what I want is I want to set up an intimidation check with a possible strength check afterwards, because I want it to be like, if you can get past me, I'll let you go. But
Sure. I mean, we'll start with the intimidation check because you are just trying to sternly say like, "I will not let you do it." And that might be.
Don't give him an out. Don't give him an out.
yeah, that is a 19.
19. That will clearly be enough. You see, as you stand there, the shining armor, barely scratched from the fight. Brass does stand up, and you see you, and you go, "Yeah, it's clearly more like." And then you watch as Brass kind of deflates into himself.
Oh.
It's like, I couldn't best you. You are a better warrior than I. And sort of collapses down to the floor. You still can see that this hurt warrior's pride that Brass has is
This is
very
breaking my heart.
deflated. And with the sternness of your voice, Brass doesn't think he could take you in a fight right now.
Oh.
And although he has achieved what you wanted, he doesn't seem happy about it.
Brass
Yep.
will remember this in the Telltale games.
Yeah. When he's sat down, is he presumably still really tall?
Yeah, I mean, you would be still taller than him because he does hunch quite a lot, but he'll probably like be near like your like neck height.
Oh wow.
So you're only just about a head taller than when he sat down.
Chad's gonna place his hand on Brask's shoulder as he's like almost like when he's like sort of side on to him, just be like, I will help you get strong, but not now.
Yeah.
Interesting.
We'll do this
Brass doesn't
together.
say anything to that. Doesn't like force you off or anything. Just accepts the hand on the shoulder, but doesn't say anything else. Charlie, you finish your prayer.
Yeah.
You assume make your way back to the rest of your party.
Yeah. Probably back to Pebble.
Yeah, you hear the
You
tail
said she would
end.
come back.
Tailor end of Christina were like, things just happen sometimes.
Does Tali have any thoughts about this eye? Like
I mean, the biggest one is that's gonna alert the Justicars.
yeah, that's I got that one. But like in terms of like, is it like how would it? What
can
is
roll-
it?
You can roll me an Arcana check if you want as well.
Yeah, just to see what kind of understanding she has going into this. I mean, that's a 5, so not a lot for some reason.
Oh.
Stressed
You're very stressed as well about the situation.
and sad.
I mean, you have already picked up on that. Pebble Pebble suffers from wild magic, so you easily jump to the conclusion this is a result of wild magic.
Fine.
Beyond it, you're less sure if this is a benefit or a curse. Like you're a bit that sort of. But I'll let you also roll me a separate intelligence check to see if you recognise what kind of eye this is.
Yeah, just straight intelligence.
Intelligence, and then I'm going to add a bonus to it if it's relevant.
6.
6. You are even less sure. Like you're not even sure this is an animal eye. You like it's weird. It's not a human eye. You get that much. But beyond that, you're like, whoa, this is strange. It's all very strange. Uh-oh.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, so Tali will come over with hey, Pebble. How are you? How are you doing?
Fine. I mean, yeah. Actually, check on my bracelet thingy.
Your bracelet, yeah. It is tight still, and it is you slowly throughout the day be getting tighter and tighter. And you can see as you kind of hold your arm up, there still would be the torch going from the Chattery down. But Tyler, you'd see it better than Pebble in your dark vision. The arm above the band is starting to go a kind of a darkish purple color.
Oh
where
no.
Blood has been cut off from it.
This color.
Not quite that color.
yeah.
It's not there yet. And Pebble, you can
It
definitely
will just go black when it's dying. By the way, just fun fact for you.
Yeah.
Dying limbs go black.
working its way there. but you're starting to like the hand feels quite numb.
Yeah, I mean, I could be better, but I mean, it's I'm just happy that we're all here. I'm like Pebble is like just taking a little bit of a reality check, just looking around like.
Entirely insight check Pebble, because depending on how she thinks he's doing emotionally, she may not say something.
Yeah, go for it. Go for it.
13.
13.
What?
You can tell that it's fine. Don't need to roll anything because you're not like lying or hiding anything. Like
No,
this
I'm
is
not.
just a general vibe
shook.
check.
Yeah.
You can tell that Pebble was quite stressed. That battle has stressed him out. Beyond that, though, you can't quite tell how he's like. You're not able to tell how he feels about the band or about the third eye. Everything seems masked behind this stress that you think is coming from the fact that Pebble nearly met its end.
Yeah.
During the battle. And kind of a quick glance, you can see that Christina is also looking quite shaky at the moment.
Well, probably saw like the light and Christina, right? Like the light at the end of the tunnel moment. we were like that bad, basically.
Both of you had a moment where you were knocked unconscious by a beast in a battle.
Yeah.
I mean, Tali's kind of gonna sort of deep breath and kind of addressing to both of them. She's like, "Look, Tali knows this was difficult, and it didn't go as planned, and you got quite hurt, and that's scary, right? So you might be feeling scared, and that's normal. I mean, that's a perfectly normal response, and you shouldn't feel, that's okay. But I just look, as long as Tali is around, Tali will do her best to help you to get you up again. Like I'm not gonna let you die. So I know it's scary, but maybe there's it can make you feel a little better. Someone is watching out for you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
I just wanna be better.
What do you mean better?
At protecting myself and my friends. Just wanna be of service and yeah. If I lose an arm, I'm not gonna be that much. Anyway, Pebble is just like rambling.
Solutions to that, though. If it comes to that, we're going to get back in time. But if it comes to that, there's ways of getting that back.
Okay.
We'll sort it. We'll find a way.
Yeah.
Like, we're all here to help each other, so it's not just your problem alone.
Oh, what Pebble is gonna do is like he's gonna be concerned about the eye, and he's gonna try to. I mean, obviously we already know that Tali doesn't know in this instance, but Pebble is just gonna ask. Like Pebble's gonna verbalize this. Like Tali, do you think the eye? I mean, am I in trouble for this?
What do you mean
happening?
trouble?
What's happening? Is it like
Well,
a curse? I mean, it doesn't feel bad to me.
I don't think it's a curse. To
I
me,
will say, just quickly, now that Chad and Brass, you've had your quiet moment, you can start to pick up this conversation. You do hear something about eye and curse going on. So if you want to enter this conversation,
Interject,
Yeah.
it look. I don't think it gets cursed, Pebble. Just it seems to me, you have difficulty controlling your magic, and sometimes that results in unintended consequences of using it.
At least, I mean, a normal. What? Oh, sorry, I dropped something. A normal Pebble without a backstory would be like, yeah, okay, thank you, and whatever. But because Pebble is Pebble, and we'll get there when we get there, Pebble's gonna be annoyed. Not you. It's just like
Do you say anything?
it's
Like, what's
a struggle that Pebble has been going through, like this not being able to control his magic for like a long time. So he's gonna be like, yeah, that, and he's just gonna close off a little bit. He's just gonna.
Pebble, if you want, like, we could try and I could help you. I can control my magic, so I could help you. I could try and teach you what I know. if you want. We could. I want to say we could workshop it. But we could sit down when we're resting, and I could try and show you how to cast a spell I know.
That would be great. That would be good. But not tonight.
No, of course not tonight. It's been a long day.
But thank you,
That's-
Tali. Thank you.
That's the point. Chad's gonna sort of join in, and just be like, yeah, whatever everyone's got planned. Yeah, I think it's time that we all rested our time that we all rest our eyes.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Looking at Pebble.
I know.
Uh,
I don't
Well,
know how, but I
is
know.
that- How does Chad respond when you realize that Pebble has 3 eyes?
he's
very
just
well.
gonna. He's just. It's just
Yeah,
like
whatever.
Chad has seen an awful lot of weird shit.
Yeah, exactly.
With these guys, and he's
That's
just
fair.
gonna assume
Oh,
Oh,
different microphone.
sorry.
It doesn't sound
Yeah,
wrong
hang
though. It sounds good.
There you go.
We can't hear you.
Am I back now?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Sorry, Chad
There we
just
go.
assumed that was something that he just hadn't noticed that Pebble does. Or
Oh right, sure.
I
was like-
oh, just Pebble things.
yeah,
Yeah.
Chad hasn't spent a lot of time with Pebble, so he's just like, right, yeah, it's just a thing that you can do. Yeah, it's time we. Well, no, it's good. Yeah, I think it's time we all had a rest. We all rest our lowercase J's.
No, because we
Don't get it.
do we just do we want to rest here? I mean, we have Wolf. We need to get Wolf to home, and there is a corpse, a donkey corpse, which might attract other creatures wanting to get that. I'm not sure this particular area is safe for us right now.
I can keep an eye out. Like you got.
Like
Don't
maybe
wanna-
we could have a shorter sit down here and then move on a little. I know we need to rest. I just want to make sure it's safe.
Yeah, I mean, I can drag the corpse away. A fair way. I can make this safe.
Oh,
I don't mean to brag, but it looks like you guys came out of that a fair bit worse than I did. So
Yes,
like,
we did.
I'm happy to to keep a lookout and keep everybody safe. And you guys don't look like you're particularly in the good state to to move on somewhere else.
I mean, I'm good. Look, I just we should leave the corpse where it is. Let's just let nature decide what to do with it.
Or if it's maybe it's possible to move it in the lake and just with a little bit of mud to basically cover
But-
the trail of the blood and shit like that. I don't know. I don't know if Pebble would be in a position to suggest even that. But
I'm more than happy to bury it.
No, just leave it. Just leave it. Just it's fine. Just leave it. Let nature. Like it can be food for some other creature. Okay, it's
Oh,
fine.
okay.
Just leave it there.
I get
It
Tali's
doesn't need to
point.
go anywhere. We don't need to hide it because it's a waste. It's very sad that it died, and if it doesn't get used for anything, then it's just a wasteful death. And then let's leave it.
Okay, we
Okay.
can
Okay.
we can we can go somewhere else. I can still.
I mean,
drive.
just a little way away. We could just. This area has bad. It's not been a great. This area hasn't been a great place for us, and maybe it would be nice just to move a little, get a different change of scenery.
Okay.
Does that do?
As long- yeah.
Do all of us agree that? Oh, how?
You
how,
can disagree. Tali's just flustered.
No, yeah, no. I like Pebble. Pebble is fine with driving for a couple hours more. I'm okay.
Chan's gonna say, look, Tali, totally hear you, 100%. Is anywhere gonna feel safe for anyone comparative to this? I know, obviously, fresh corpse. That's absolutely fine. That's certainly a thing. But are you going to be able to settle down if we carry on moving? If we're moving for more than half an hour, it's going to start really. If we've just been through all that, I think we should just settle down here. But I'm happy to expedite us moving on if that is the best thing to do.
Is there because we're on a very open plain right now, right? Is there something that has a bit more trees and a bit more cover nearby?
Not really. There's probably a spattering of trees around, but not like there's no woods or anything nearby.
Like a big rock.
Probably is like a rock nearby, yeah.
Go behind the rock. I don't know. Go somewhere that has some kind of like we can lean up against, so we don't have to worry about that side.
Yeah, I think there's probably a rock about maybe sort of 10 minutes away from where you are.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Maybe a
The only thing about it
compromise.
obviously involves you tying the one donkey you got left back to the car, getting Warriors back on the car and moving along. There's a bit of setup involved.
I mean, how much do we care about exposing ourselves at this point? Do we still have to keep Wolf a secret if it's like in the deep of the night? I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe not.
We're going to be. Yeah, we're going to be exposed wherever we go out
Yeah.
here.
And the donkey is gonna a single donkey. We need to treat the donkey that we have left well for the return journey. Well, I mean the return journey is gonna be without Wolf as well, so that's
How about Wolf then? Since it's nighttime and she can hide, she can follow just behind
Hiding,
the
yeah.
cart.
Yeah.
No, just walk along behind it because she could duck and
yeah.
hide behind it if we need to, and then
You
the
do see,
donkey
like,
doesn't have to pull
Looking over the
anything.
warrior off, it is quite hard to place where she is. Like the shadows sort of unnaturally cling to her, and you have to keep looking at. Oh, she's there. She just inherently sort of almost disappears into the darkness behind you.
If Pebble
Then, yeah.
if Pebble looks at Wolf, he sees the same, or does
He
he
sees
see?
it.
Oh, damn it.
But you have a little bit of a better time spotting her than most.
Good.
But
Alright.
yeah, you are aware of this, that she has this natural ability to hide in darkness.
I mean,
And it seems to be it in effect.
how tired is Wolf as well? Because it doesn't feel fair. This is in character. Is it fair if that we will be making Wolf walk while we are potentially using the carriage and the donkey to transport ourselves? So
Warrior is fine.
are you
Warrior
sure?
Sit down for hours.
Okay.
He watches Roy sort of stretches out nice to stretch Royal's legs.
Oh, big stretch.
When she stretches, she's about 8 feet tall, and her arm span is just enormous. And then she comes back to her sort of weird hunched over form again, and it comes back down to about. In her hunched form, she's about the same height as Brass standing upright.
Interesting.
But also, okay, we can go. If we get some sort of cover, like a large rock or a boulder, that would at least protect us from one side. But we can't just sleep into morning. Wolf won't be able to hide in the morning. So ideally, we get Wolf to the forest tonight.
That makes sense.
It's worth
Well,
mentioning that the journey you're going on, you're not traveling on roads. You're traveling off road. There's a good chance that even in the daytime, you wouldn't see anybody.
1 second.
But we're also quite pressed for time because of Pebble's magical predicament. So Christine is thinking, well, if Wolf can stretch her legs and walk alongside the cart, and the rest of the small and mighty could either be on the cart, driving, or in the back of the cart, resting. So we're travelling and also resting, getting the job done.
Wouldn't be resting for the driver. The only thing, basically Pebble wouldn't.
Is
wouldn't-
it?
And yeah.
You could attempt to do some sort of shift sort of
Yeah,
thing, where
exactly.
if
Yeah,
you
that's
are
true, actually.
resting and you try and swap. Obviously,
Yeah.
Pebble is the best driver amongst you, but that doesn't mean
That doesn't
others
mean-
of
yeah.
you could try.
That's true. Maybe we try that for a while, see how we go.
Pebble's gonna check on the donkey. Pebble's gonna
Yep,
check
okay.
on the donkey.
The donkey is at the moment sort of standing over the other donkey's body.
Hello.
I mean, as you approach, as you enable your senses to be able to speak to the animal, you just hear, Carl, come on, Carl, get up! Stop being so
Oh,
lazy!
no.
Come on, Carl! It's like kind of
Um,
kicking it slightly. No, Carl, you can't do this to me. I don't want to do all that work by myself. I can't move the car by myself. Come on, Carl, you gotta come back.
I'm gonna put a hand on Donkey. I'm gonna just pat and go like, Carl, did you say? Sorry, Adam.
Well, Jennifer is the one who's still alive. Carl is the one who's dead.
Carl. Carl is gone. I'm so sorry, Genevieve. Genevieve. I don't know how to pronounce it.
Jennifer.
We will help you not have to. You won't have to carry like all the load. We will help you somehow. Wolf can, walk. It's good, but we have to get going.
Make me I'll let you do animal handling or persuasion check, whichever you prefer.
Well, it's the same. It's
That's
the
fine.
same.
Then it doesn't matter.
7.
7.
Yeah.
You as you're saying these words, you see that Jennifer doesn't come to understand that Carl's passed on. But what changes is, if Carl's died, am I gonna die? I don't want to die. You can see that it's starting to back up away from you. It's like, no, this is dangerous. I want to go home. I liked the barn. The barn was nice and comfy and warm, and there's no danger there.
Ooh, I'm gonna do
The rest of you guys can see that Pebble's gone over to talk to one of the donkeys, and the donkey's now backing away from Pebble.
Oh no.
What do I say? I don't want to intimidate the donkey either, like, because I was gonna say, like, I mean, you don't know what you're gonna encounter traveling back, but no, I'm not gonna be that
What
dick.
do you say?
But I can't. I mean, I've already rolled for trying to persuade, so.
Well, you do, Pebble. What are you doing? I will decide if you roll anything. Don't think about rolls. What is
Right.
Pebble doing?
I'm just spending time with Jennifer and just trying to, feel like, well, there's all sorts of dangers in life. Like, it's not like, I mean, and I'm not saying this to stress you out or anything. I think we are all quite stressed out. There's, there's danger in town as well, but I do believe that, we remain alive for a reason, and we just have to, move on.
Okay.
And if
As you
you can
continue
help
trying-
us, we can move on. And yeah.
As you continue trying to comfort and talk to Jennifer, you're trying to approach, just stroke her, but she's still slowly backing away from you. I'll let you roll again to animal handling or persuasion, but this time with disadvantage.
Oh, can Talia bring the donkey treats to support? Like, we have a little bag of
let's do-
donkey treats, right? But I can also not be involved in that.
Well, you can be making your way over, but you can see Pebble is
Slowly, yeah.
handle the situation.
Well, it was a natural 20 and a 2. So,
Aw,
2
man.
2 plus 5, 7. Again.
7, okay.
7 again. It's the same.
As you're saying this, I'm like, I don't want to be in danger. I don't want to be here. No. And you watch as he just turns and starts bolting away from you.
I chase the donkey!
I'm
I've got
trying.
Speed of a donkey.
Can I roll
But yeah.
a perception check for Chad to see if he's seen this happen?
I will say yes, because this isn't quiet. Like, you hear the donkey go "Arr!" and start running. Like, this is not a subtle thing. You don't need to roll. Yes, you watch as the donkey starts bolting vaguely in the direction of the city,
Okay.
but away from you. Tyler, you're gonna try and chase it down, are you?
Just be like, no, I'm gonna bring the donkey treats. Like, no, you'll be much safer. There's lots of us to protect you.
As you are running after it, this donkey is faster than you, and it is getting away from you.
Donkey!
Uh,
How much fast? Like a lot. I mean, I have a net.
So you move 30 feet, it moves 40 feet. So it is just making slow
Can I
distance.
get within net distance?
No, because it would already be a bit further away from you to start with. when you
15
start.
feet. Okay.
No, unfortunately not.
How,
Blanket distance.
I'm gonna try something as well. But it's gonna be a little bit silly. So how did Carl talk again? I mean, well, when you cast message, does the recipient of the message know who?
What does it say in the
who is
spell?
Sorry? Oh, yeah.
What does it say in the spell?
You point your finger towards the creature. The target and only the target hears the message and can reply in a whisper that only you can hear. The spell doesn't have to follow a straight line. It doesn't say anything.
So no,
It doesn't
no,
specify.
it doesn't. Okay, so it doesn't necessarily. So you gotta try and. What are you trying to do?
I'm just gonna make a call impression.
Okay. But what are you
no.
saying?
This is a bad idea.
What are you trying to say?
So I point at Genesee and I'm like, Genesee, my friend, they need you. I'm fine where I am now. Like that kind of shit.
Okay. Okay. Make me a deception check.
Yes. This is bad. But you know, desperate actions. Fucking hell! 21.
So Talia, as you're running after this thing, you're running away from you, holding the bag of donkey treats, you watch as the mule sort of slows down and just turns back and looks at you,
Good.
and you are able to approach it. And obviously you don't communicate this, but
I
it
mean-
does sort of slowly make its way over to you, Tali.
Yeah, feed it some donkey treats.
And yeah, and that'll
And
convince him.
stroke the donkey.
Question time. Does it work though? Does message work with animal handling? It's just like we've done a combo that I don't know if it's legal.
Unai, I'm the DM. I get to decide if something works.
Okay, fine.
And I clearly have decided this
Yeah.
works, so don't worry. You rolled well enough.
Mm.
This donkey comes up to you, Tali, and is very timidly, but does accept some treats from you.
Okay, donkey.
Oh.
Look, there's lots of us to protect you, and it'll be okay. And we're not gonna let anything happen to you.
The donkey just slowly accepts like a pat on the head or something, but
Yeah.
seems very nervous. Much
but-
like most of the party at this
but-
point, honestly, is
We
stressed.
put like a little blanket on the donkey.
Oh,
Sure.
Yeah,
Blonky.
and then just kind of like let's go back to the sort of.
You slowly lead the donkey back to your little like campsite, as it were.
I guess it has like a bridle, right? I can like kind of hold
Yeah.
that just gently, so it doesn't.
Yes.
Well, that was.
And as you do bring it back to camp, you watch as the donkey is kind of steering clear of Pebble. Like it doesn't seem to want to go too near Pebble.
The donkey
I mean,
knows
she'll
that.
go with the donkey. She won't make the, but kind of we'll lead it towards
Yeah.
the sort of front of the cart and just yeah, I guess hang out with the donkey a bit, hook it up.
So, Chad is witnessing everything going to absolute shit in the aftermath of this battle
Yep.
that he was that he was like, as far as he's concerned, that was like a fine battle. He's seeing these absolute incompetents just completely losing it around it, and like the donkey's running off and stuff. So Chad is going into taking charge mode.
Oh no.
Jesus
Uh,
Christ.
It's just like,
Oh dear.
oh my god. Right, okay. Brask, I need you in the cart. Chop, off you go. Woyolf, would you mind, please, assisting our one remaining mule in pulling the cart? Now, I know that wasn't part of the deal that we were pulling you, but please could you assist that? Just we're down one. That would be
Pull
absolutely
the cart and Tali can just hug the donkey.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Make a persuasion check.
How friendly are the trolls to the animals, and how friendly are the animals to the trolls?
wonderful. That was a natural 20.
Oh my god.
Hey!
So a couple
I'm
things.
happy, but also, why?
We'll find out, Pebble. Don't worry.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about this. What was I saying? So first couple of things. Once you give Brask an order, Brask is. You almost looks like Brask is happy to be doing something helpful.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's nice.
And so Brask just follows orders, even though it is just get on the back of the cart. He does it immediately, stands to attention almost, and is over. Wolf, as you speak to Wolf and say, this is part of the deal, and Wolf's like, he's okay. You'll take me home, and just sort of walks over to the front of the cart.
Thank you, Woyolf.
There's enough
Now-
space for both Woyof and the donkey to pull the cart. 'Cause Woyof's quite big, right?
Come to that in a second as well.
Okay.
I'm imagining that if there isn't, the donkey can just walk alongside.
No,
and
I'm gonna
walk
cuddle
in
the
for-
donkey and
Yeah,
sit on the
just
driver's
Tell
seat.
donkey.
And Chad's gonna be like, Christina, Tali, Pebble, in the cart. You're resting. I'll drive. Let's go.
Pebble is like, yeah, fair. Like, I've had enough.
Leaving the
Um,
donkey.
But Chad wants to do something before we'll set off, and he wants to do it slightly stealthily. Which is Chad has a water skin,
Yes.
and he would like to replace the water in there with some of Carl's blood, just as
I
a
see.
precaution for later on, because he's still
Okay.
not feeling great
Yes.
about the idea of drinking Tali's blood.
That's fair.
And this is sort of like an opportunity that he's
Yeah,
seen.
okay. So as you're sort of barking out orders to everyone and getting everyone to organize, and like you're slowly like, you had stopped here initially for like a short rest anyway, so you have a few things scattered. So you start collecting out your things.
Mhm.
While that is happening, you try and subtly siphon some blood out of a donkey corpse.
Yeah.
Please roll me a sleight of hand check.
Yes. Oh, see, that was a 10.
Ooh. Okay.
Does Tali see?
Pebble wouldn't.
Maybe not.
Pebble
to be
don't
fair,
have
hold on.
because-
I mean, the success of getting blood is more important to Chad than
Yeah.
it being super stealthy at this point.
So, yeah, that's fair. No, so it's not the worst case. Like, you do find a moment when people aren't looking at you. However, Tali, you do spot Chad doing this.
Fine,
And-
whatever.
You're
I'm
pretty
happy.
aware. You're pretty aware what's going on. Like, you can go, okay, it's fine. Pebble, you
Aw.
also spot Chad doing
What?
this.
Oh, right. Mm.
You
Tali
see Chad,
has said
going up
something
to-
Pebble.
but you see Chad going up to his body and trying to essentially get the blood out of it and put it into a water skin.
Damn it, I wish Pebble didn't know.
Because if I remember
So-
correctly, Tali and Pebble have spoken about this because Tali wanted Pebble's
Yeah.
help with the meat preservation
Yep.
Yes,
and
Yeah.
getting blood for Chad.
but I don't think you told him why. You
I
think you just
don't
asked-
know.
I
feel
think
like
you were
might-
just asking how to preserve meat.
But Pebble has suspected that Chad was a vampire before.
You have suspected Chad was a vampire before, but
Personally.
Tali told you he wasn't.
No, but I have a really bad. I have just a gut feeling like I have mentioned that
We
he
did have
is
a
not
chat.
yet.
Exactly. We did have a
Sure,
chat,
you-
and I asked like,
I don't
oh, is
remember
he gonna be a vampire? Is he gonna kill us? And she's like, and Tali was like, maybe. Yeah,
The
yeah.
gist you gave Pebble was there's nothing overly to worry about. And then you had a separate conversation about preserving meat, but I don't think you specified why.
And is it crystal clear to me that he is collecting? He's not by the lake to collect water, but to collect blood. Like,
He is clearly doing something to the donkey,
oh
yes.
my god. Oh well, if he's doing something to the donkey, I'm like, yeah. If
Well, you
he's
can see, well, something with the donkey with a water skin and trying to, like, fill it up. Like, you spot what Chad's doing. This is my point.
I don't
You see
know.
him
Chad,
filling up a
Chad
water
most
skin.
Chad most likely will have like used his sword very quickly to like cut an artery or something to like it won't, yeah. It won't just be like jam it into like the open wound. It will have been like there will have been stuff happening with it.
just go past
A
the donkey
great
and go like,
T-shirt, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
But yes, so Pebble. Good one. Pebble, yes, you do see Chad quite literally draining blood from this donkey and putting it into a water skin.
I don't know how to react. I don't know how Pebble would react.
You might just keep it to yourself for now. It's just, but
Pebble would be like a bit scared. That would like disturb him, but I'm not gonna. Yeah, I'm just keeping it to myself.
yeah, keep it
Like-
to him. Okay, but otherwise you pack everything on the cart. With
Tali
Roy,
is. Oh, it's okay.
with Roy at the front of the cart, there really isn't space for another donkey, and you do also find, even trying to get Jennifer close to Roy, Jennifer does sort of pull away.
No.
Aw.
Tali's gonna hold. There's like a little driver's seat, right? Can Tali sit there with the donkey on her lap?
The donkey is the same.
Please.
Size. You cannot have the donkey on your lap.
Donkey is
Can I sit in the back?
enormous.
It's the same size as you are. You can't
Can I
have it on
sit
your
in
lap.
the back with the donkey on my lap?
Nope. You
Can
cannot
it
have
be
the donkey on
next
your
to
lap.
me?
You could potentially have it in the back of the cart, but it would only be you and the donkey would fit. Like the cart hasn't got that much space. What you could do is in the next shift of rest, you could get in the back.
Okay, I'll walk. I'll basically Tali and donkey. They're now a pair. Tali's gonna walk with the donkey,
Okay.
feeding a treat.
Chad's
Just to
gonna
confirm-
see that and like, Tali, you need to rest. You all need to rest.
Yeah. We're
But the
all
donkey needs to
delusional.
rest.
Yeah.
And I don't want to go. We
The
have
donkey
to
is
protect her.
resting. The donkey is not pulling the.
It's still walking. I'll take the first shift. We need a shift, right? We need a shift system.
Yeah, I'm driving. So if you want to stay
So
up
you're
as well,
driving. I
let's-
can
let's-
stay up with the donkey, and we can keep an eye out, and then we can switch with Brask
second.
and Christina and Pebble.
fine. As long as we're moving. As long as we're moving.
What? 1 second. Who is pulling the cart?
Boy off.
Well,
Well,
Woyolf. Does Woyolf require being driven? Even?
Not really.
yeah,
but
Chad, why don't you rest?
here's the thing. The actual cart yourself, with the crate still on it, it doesn't really have enough room for you all to rest in it anyway. So
Oh,
some
right,
of you would need to be outside of it. The
Cool.
driver's seat is still available. So,
I mean,
but also, Woyoff doesn't know where she's going, so she still needs directions, even if you're not driving.
Cool. All right.
I mean, to make things more simple, whilst all this has been happening, Christina's just got in the back of the cart and gone.
Yeah, Pebble too.
yeah.
Pebble too.
So,
To be fair, Christina, there
That's
is something
what it
you can actually do to make it even simpler than this. Is you can go inside your amulet.
oh my god, I so can! I'm doing that.
So Christina
So
suddenly is like,
Hi!
Yeah. You watch as Christina just gets in the back of the car, and she suddenly goes. You watch as her body just turns blue and liquid and gets absorbed into the amulet, which then just plops onto the car.
1 sec, 1 sec, 1 sec. So Christina is like small now.
She's inside an amulet.
Christina's disappeared. There's just her amulet is there.
Did Chad see that, or was Chad round the front?
So you saw it. Why not?
Yeah, like,
I imagine
I
this is
mean-
gonna lead to some hilarity.
Question. Like, does Christina explain what's going on, or are we just?
Doesn't sound like it.
What?
Christina!
No.
Oh.
I mean, Bella's gonna be hella worried, obviously. Bella's like, oh my god, what? What just happened? Can we try manipulating the amulet in any way? Just trying to
You
get
pick
you
up the
back.
amulet.
So is it clear that Christina has either? How clear is it that Christina is inside the amulet?
You watch very much like what happens when Dofo enters or exits the thing. Christina turned to like a sudden blue like jelly and suddenly got sucked into, because the amulet itself is like it's got like a metal part to it, but then it has a small like glass section with water inside it. And you watch as Christina got sucked into that.
But we've watched it with Dotho and we've
You have watched
watched
it with Dofo before, yeah.
Dotho. Oh, so then Pebble is gonna be sus, but also it's like, okay. Can I look into the little glass with water
Sure, roll me a perception check with advantage.
with the
Ooh.
third eye? Yeah, perception. Well, 20 unnatural.
20.
Yeah.
Amazing. You get like you basically you hold it up as close as you can to your eye, and there just seems to be a little bit of water. Then you have this idea, look at through the new eye, and through that eye you can just like faintly, almost a microscopic level, practically, you see that in the center of that water there is what appears to be a tiny little island, and on that island there's a
Oh.
little palm tree, and you see some
Oh.
like deck chairs. And you see a figure, and then for you, Christina, you are just on this little like tropical beach island, sat on a deck chair, drinking mojitos.
So, alright, so Pebble knows that everything is fine then. I mean, well, yeah, Pebble is half
Yeah.
delusional at this point, so he's like, yeah, cool, let's go!
Just so Christina knows, you can stay in there for up to an hour.
Cool.
No, sorry, no, 4 hours.
Oh my
Hey.
god, okay.
Doing it.
Yeah,
Bye.
you can stay in there for a number of hours equal to twice your proficiency bonus, so that is 4 hours. So
Cool.
Pebble's gonna keep, I mean, well, no one's gonna keep watching that because I'm gonna sleep, but we have to make sure, Pebble explains as well, like, we have to make sure not to lose this amulet, please, like,
so
someone keep it. Or
if
Pebble
you're having a
keeps it.
short rest. You're not necessarily sleepy. You can close your eyes for a little bit. You're napping, but you're not going to be like. It's only an hour's rest. If you want to have like a proper long rest, that's 8 hours.
Oh, I see. So what we are having is a short rest.
Yeah.
More of a break, a breather than a rest. So you won't get like HP back and stuff like that. Well, you get.
Then
some
you
HP.
can if you roll your hit dice.
Sorry, you get some HP back, but you're not gonna be fully healed.
You won't get your
It's
spell
short
slots
rest.
back and that sort of stuff.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway,
Cool.
right. So back to the configuration. So as far as the shift is going, so Pebble and Brask and the amulet are in the back of the wagon.
Mhm.
Chad, you're sitting at the driver's seat directing Royolf, and Tali, you're walking alongside of Jennifer, right? Okay. So, essentially for the first hour, Pebble, Brask, and Christina can have a short rest.
Fantastic.
What you haven't been. So to do that, on D&D Beyond, you hit the short rest button. You can then also roll hit dice if you feel like you need to heal up.
All
So
right.
if you tick the boxes, you'll give
Oh,
you a
okay,
dice. If you
okay.
roll that, it will automatically heal your character.
You do have to select the automatically apply.
Yeah. So I do. It's only one, right?
You can roll as many as you want.
You can roll as many as you want.
And what's the penalty?
But you can
for
roll
that?
them one at a time. So you roll one, if you like it, you can stop. If you want to go another one, you keep rolling them.
But you won't get them. Like if you use them, you use them, and you don't get them back until you long rest.
Ah, I see.
So
I
you
see
can
what
have
you mean.
multiple short rests, and if you have, you can spread out your hit die to heal yourself.
So
mean-
you probably, realistically, to give you a bit of a tip of the DM, you probably don't need to heal up all the way. Maybe just get a little. Like I think
Just
Pebble,
one
you've
die.
got quite a bit of HP
Yeah,
already.
yeah.
So you're probably right. And in fact, so do you, Christina. So you probably don't need to do it. It's probably Brask. So I might just do something for Brask for on Ryan's
Okay.
behalf.
Yeah, I'm not healing then. I think.
But otherwise, do tick the short rest thing because some of your
Yeah.
features come back on short rests.
Yep.
So
Got it.
but yeah, I will roll on Ryan's behalf. Brask does need some healing.
I like the music.
This is the sort of nighttime music. Sneaky nighttime music.
Mhm.
There you go. Brask is looking much better now. Okay. So the first hour of travel goes by. It's uneventful. Largely, as you're pulling away from the campsite, leaving behind the unfortunate body of Carl, you do start to hear the howls of wolves in the distance, and they seem to be approaching the site you left behind. You
Yeah.
travel through the night. This is like, even though like Chad, especially, even though you're sitting up in this driver's seat, and you're more or less just saying, "Royolf, go that way," and Royolf, obviously being a sentient creature, is just pulling it along. You have pushed very heavily into the night now. You've been traveling for a long while. You're over 8 hours since you left town. Because you two are currently still active, I'd like you both to roll me Constitution saving throws.
Me as well.
Yes, please. This is try and resist exhaustion.
Constitution saving throw. Let's go.
I'm letting the others get away with it for the moment because they're currently resting.
Oh, no.
5.
Oh God.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. 20, not
20,
a natural.
okay. So Chad, you are, although you are a Ponzi noble type, your father drilled you hard as a soldier and a knight. You have pushed through, wading through, like imagine Tough Mudder and those kind of things, like the equivalent of those kind of courses. Like you know how to keep focused and keep going when you need to, and this right now, this isn't a challenge for you. Tali, however, it might be because you are actually walking alongside a donkey and you're stressed as all hell anyway, and you're probably like paranoid looking around.
Yep.
This does take a toll on you, and you take 1 point of exhaustion.
Yeah, where do I actually mark that on?
If you click on your conditions section, go to
Yep.
the very bottom exhaustion, you have level 1 exhaustion.
Woo!
And what that means, it means you have disadvantage on ability checks.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes. But an hour goes by, and Pebble and Brask at the very least, you sort of come stir from your naps. And if you want to, you can shift around. Christina, are you staying in your amulet until 4 hours
Yeah.
is up? Or are you coming? Yeah, okay, so Christina's just out for now. You're kind of frustrated that you left your book behind at the pub because you're now like, I've got nothing to do. Might be just like skipping stones along the water, maybe.
I mean, if you say I've got mojitos, then I'm probably
true.
alright, to be fair.
That is fair. Yes. So Pebble, you come to and
Yeah.
you see that Brask is very eager to kind of get up and start walking again.
Yeah, sure. Pebble is as serviceable as he is, He's gonna join Brask and he's walking.
There's fair. So you start to swap over.
Can Genevieve come in the back?
Yeah, well, see, so Chad, are you staying in the driver's seat or you?
Chad is putting on a bit of a show of being
Leadership.
solid in this moment. So
Yeah,
yeah,
okay.
Chad is staying put. He's gonna offer if anyone wants to sit in the thing. Otherwise, he'll stay where he is, and if anyone else wants to sit in the driver's seat, he'll happily walk.
Pebbles
Yeah.
gonna decline because Pebbles has had like a bad experience. Oh well, no. Pebbles will always chill, right? So
You're fine with Royal, yeah.
but no, Pebble is fine walking. Pebble is fine walking. Honestly.
That's fine. So there is room for 2 people in the driver's seat, I think we said before, so you could
Okay.
get out there with Chad if you want to. Brash does walk, which then means that the back is open for Carly.
Yeah, me and the donkey can have a
So
nap
yes.
with the blanket. Oh, it's so sweet.
It is.
I'm so
Yeah.
sad. Like Charlie's basically using the donkey, like talking to the donkey, trying to make herself feel better. Like it's gonna be fine. We're gonna get there. Then we can have rest. Then we can get back to the city.
I will say it is probably frustrating and awkward for Chad because to get the donkey on the cart, you have to come to a stop. So you're like, well, we'll
yeah.
stop. And
Yeah.
I imagine there's some weird conflicting feelings
Very-
with Chad as well because, like, it's a godling asking me to do this, but this is really irritating.
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
very unoptimal situation.
Yeah.
But anyway, the transition happens, and after a short interlude, as you load a donkey into the back of the wagon, you do kick off again.
Neat.
And you can. Just so I know, before we continue, is your plan to now just push on until you reach the forest, or are you going to travel for a bit longer and then have a proper break?
I was
I think it was
gonna.
push on, wasn't it? Was the plan?
I think so, but I was also gonna ask like, is there like, are we going towards a particular forest, or is this like whenever the area is foresty enough?
You are aiming for a particular forest.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Cool. I didn't remember.
Tali,
Well,
Tali didn't necessarily say we should push on all the way, but was saying that didn't want to stay right in that place. So there's potential that we could stop and have a long rest when we're a bit more.
Makes sense.
Chad has
That would-
absolutely taken that as fine. We're just going for it.
Yeah,
Oh,
okay.
no.
Okay, well, so you travel for another hour at the very least.
I get a short rest.
So Tali, you get a short rest. So
Yay.
does Jennifer. But Chad, Pebble, and Brask need to make a Constitution saving throw.
Very good.
Because although the short rest was enough to stop you from making the check
How
for the
does
last push, it is not enough. You're still pushing way beyond.
Constitution saving throw. Oh, I am a constitutive boy.
Good. Not bad.
Yeah.
Oh
farm
no,
boy.
I'm not.
Oh,
Bye.
So you feel like you should be good at this because you are a farm boy. You had to work long hours, get up early, work till late at night. It's just all this walking though. You've never had to do like you. Oh, it's getting to you. Chad, I saw your roll, so you're fine. But
Yeah.
Pebble, however,
Hmm.
you now take 1 point of exhaustion. If you go,
Uh,
Pebble, if you go to the condition section, it'll pop open a window. Go to the very bottom. There's exhaustion.
yeah,
One level.
one day.
One level of exhaustion.
Where is the condition section even?
Sort of just under your HP, so top rightish.
Oh, okay. Exhaustion. Hey.
Yeah.
It's
So-
it feels like an achievement.
It isn't.
Yeah, I know.
So in addition to being stressed, which gives you a -1 to your ability checks, you also don't have disadvantage in your ability checks.
Fantastic. At this point, Pebble is gonna join Chad or whoever
Yeah.
wants to be in the driver's seat.
That's fine. So you imagine like you probably walk for like the first like 20 or 30 minutes, and you're like, this is hard.
yeah.
You climb up into the driver's seat with Chad, but still trying to stay awake, but
Suddenly
you're
upheld.
out of breath.
If Tali is gonna wake up after like an hour or so, like she may leave the donkey in the back, but jump out and be like, go to the front to have a chat with.
Cool.
Yeah,
Cool,
that's
cool.
fine. So the hour
Um,
passes. You've had your short rest.
Yeah.
Brask is also fine. He's not exhausted. And you wander up to the front. Just before you before doing that, I was going to ask. While Pebble gets in the front with Chad, do you talk about anything?
All right.
Chad will have noticed that Pebble was struggling and would have helped Pebble get up into the thing, up into the seat.
Pebble is actively, although not wanting to be rude or anything, but actively covering his neck. I don't know if you pick on that or not, but yeah.
Chad doesn't notice that, but
Okay.
Chad's gonna be like, look, I think you should keep sleep. I think you should have another nap. Yeah.
But I would feel horrible. I mean, it's just I know it's been like a hot night for everyone, but I mean I've already had my nap. You haven't had any. Have a nap.
I'm good.
Are you
I'm good.
sure?
I'm used to this kind of thing. As much as I have lived well and had a good, comfortable life, I've also I've had my fair share of drills of this kind of activity.
Pearl is about to ask, what is your secret? Some kind of energy drink? But no, Pearl's not asking. Okay.
So yeah,
Yep.
so I'm good. I'll crash at some point, I'm sure. But for now, you guys are all. Yeah, I need to be here and awake and strong for you guys. I'm good.
Pebble is weak. Pebble's gonna start making his way downstairs. No, backwards.
Okay. So imagine sort of at the end of that conversation is when the hour is up, and as you almost like do a shift swap with Tali. Brass is still going strong at the moment, so he keeps walking. But Tali, you see Pebble climbing into the cart as.
Yeah.
I guess I feel like that's kind of the motivation for her. So she sees that she hops out and sort of climbs up into the driver's side seat next to Chad. Hey, Chad. We should.
So hey, Tali.
Hey.
Just
Hey.
Hey, girl.
I think we should. I think we should stop for a bit so we can all rest.
Okay. Yeah. I thought we were going all into the to the woods, but no.
I mean, I don't. Ideally, yeah, but I'm very tired, and Pebble looks very tired, and you will probably get tired soon. So we should probably rest before that happens, right? In a time we can control.
As you're discussing this, you feel a sudden lurch as Warrior seems to speed up a little bit.
But I'm awake.
And as you kind of look
happening?
forward, you two with your very good dark vision, you do see, almost as if it just appeared out of nowhere, there is a forest directly in front of you.
Oh, okay. Okay, I guess we'll.
And you see Rolf is speeding up, just kind of like running along to it.
When you say directly in front of us, how far?
Within 100 feet.
Oh Jesus!
Oh wow.
Like,
that
like
was
almost out
fast.
of nowhere, like it's.
Well, I suppose that's
Yes.
the extent of our dark vision, isn't it?
Yes,
So,
it does just
yeah.
suddenly
Wait,
appear
hang
upon
on.
you.
I mean, it wouldn't just appear for me. I have 300 feet dark vision. Oh, I see it miles away. Yes.
But you were facing Chad, so like you just suddenly
That's
like
fair,
notice
that's
it.
fair.
As you look over, you see
Oh.
there is a forest before you, and you can see like where you've like you just came here. You had no intention of like angling it, but where you are and where Wolf is almost running towards, you can see that there is almost a pathway leading into the woods, about maybe
Sus.
like 10 or 15 foot like pathway, a well-beaten track, and you can see that these two large, like 10-foot tall statues of what appears to be owls just lying either side of this track, and Wolf is just almost like making a gun it for
Wolf,
just that
okay.
pathway up the middle.
But
we,
Wolf,
we made it. Great.
yeah, Wolf, when we're in the forest, can you just stop, just a little, so because then we can attach you. Just
Wolf
go
is
in.
breathing
But
heavily.
Please slow down. And just so we can get off, and then we can unhook you, and you can be free.
Make a persuasion check.
Yes, please. I feel like this is when you're riding a horse, and the horse has decided off running time, and it's like,
Yeah, it's not good.
persuasion check, right? Can I make animal handling instead?
Not for Wolf.
Oh, but come on. I thought I'd
Wolf is not an
try.
animal.
I just thought I'd try.
Oh,
That's a 4, so
4.
no.
It's very strange. You say this request, and Wolf, almost as if she's not paying attention to you anymore, is
Oh.
just continuing to move forward.
Chad?
And very quickly, you find yourself. You are now passing within that gateway, as it were, between those two statues. You start to see a canopy of large trees over you as you're
This
heading
is not.
into these woods.
No, Chad, we need to stop the cart, because we're gonna end up really deep in the forest.
Where's
Wolf,
down
running!
there?
I think this is a good place to take our break.
Yes.
Hey!
It's gonna be
Uh,
ages to walk back.
As Royal is
Fantastic.
now running you deep into the forest.
Before
Cry.
right before we take the break, I want to play it as if like the donkey, because of all the running, the donkey has woken up and right beside me, about to fall asleep, and we have like an awkward like stare, like, all right.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. Things are tense in the back of the wagon. As when you kind of climbed in, the donkey just looked at you like, "What the fuck are you doing here?" And you are like almost as opposite sides of the wagon as you can be when you're having your breaks. There's an easy
Yeah.
tension,
like,
but
Right.
and not made any better by the sun speeding up with the car.
Cool.
But yes, no,
Fantastic.
that's where we will have our break.
all
So,
right.
let's be back in. Let's do past.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See you in
Yes.
at the 1:30. Bye.
See you in a bit.
Yep. Boy.
And we're back. We pick up exactly where we left off with a wagon that is starting to almost run away from you. So you see Warioth is charging up this pathway, and this pathway as it kind of like twists and turns to the point where very quickly you start to lose vision on the entranceway that you came into the woods. Thick walls of trees and thickets and brambles either side of you. This pathway that seems to shrink as you go in. Every once in a while, as you're kind of charging up this pathway, there are these statues of owls, which they almost act like beacons, and it's almost like they're lit up like torches. But at a quick glance, you notice like fireflies seem to gather around them,
Oh, nice.
illuminating the pathway as you sort of are running up this bit. Brass is having to sprint alongside you to keep up, as it is you are.
Okay, can
Beating
Tali like Tali Thaumaturgy to make a big voice be like, "Way of stop!"
Yeah. Make me an intimidation check.
Oh,
Ab
intimidation.
was gonna do that, but without the
Oh, or maybe Chad to do it. 'Cause my intimidation is shit.
You said you're going to do it now, so.
Fine, I'll do it. Do I have disadvantage though? Don't I?
Alright, I'll let you. Or I'll let you do persuasion if you want. Depending on.
They're
I'll
both
pick one.
shit, and I also have disadvantage, right?
But you do have disadvantage, yes.
I don't know why I'm doing this. I really shouldn't have, but we're here now. I need to.
The disadvantage because of the stress. Or
No,
the
'cause
exhaustion?
exhaustion.
So-
A
What?
two. A two.
Aw.
Right.
I got a two. I got a two.
I predicted correctly, yes. You kind of whine at Warrior, like, no, stop!
It's really loud. It's just.
Yeah, booming whine comes out of Tali.
Chad's
Please.
gonna see that fail and immediately just go, "Wolf, stop!" And he's got a backup plan in case this doesn't
Okay.
work.
Well, start with this one. So, intimidation check, please.
Yes. That is 19.
19,
I
okay. Warrior doesn't stop. However, Warrior does, this time at least, notice you. He goes, no, can't! I need to bring you to her! And he's just pulling you along.
To who? To who? Chad, Chad, ask her who?
Who? Who? Woyov!
Warrior goes silent again.
Chad is gonna draw his sword. Now,
Mhm.
not to attack Woyov.
Yeah, no,
not
to
to attack
detach.
Woyov.
To detach.
Yeah, Woyov
I got
is attached to us, presumably with like ropes or like leather stuff.
In my head, Warrior was just
Holding.
holding it, which is for
That's
her.
what- That was what I thought initially, but then we
Yeah.
said that she's attached.
No,
So
she's just holding it.
She's just holding it.
well.
In that case, that's not what Chad's gonna try and do.
Not even
Um,
not even while Chad knows that her arms regenerate.
It's a bit harsh. Just because they regenerate doesn't mean you should cut them off.
Yeah.
Okay,
Um,
okay, I'm just asking.
And it's like, by the way, you're not going so fast, but like you're a danger of crashing or anything. Like Warrior
Yeah.
is just sort of jogging along. It's
So
just-
we could all.
you could jump off the wagon
Yeah,
without hurting
we could all
yourself.
We'd
jump
lose
off
the
the-
wagon and now deposit.
That's more the point.
Yeah. Can Chad? Can I roll something to see how well Chad can keep tabs on what twists and turns we've done?
Yeah, roll me a
To
perception
retrace
check.
our steps.
Ooh.
Roll me a perception check.
Right. Okay. That was a 3. So I'm gonna use my hero token because I want to
Oh,
know how we get out of
right.
here.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah.
Yeah, so use your hero token, and you're watching carefully, and you see the twists and turns, and it's interesting because your instinct is like this is going to be really difficult, but actually as you kind of start paying attention, there is only one route through this. Although it twists and turns, there is no like the almost like the walls of this pathway you're on are so thick with brambles and like a thicket and bush that they're not pathways. There just seems to be this one winding pathway through. So yes, you think it'd be pretty easy to remember that pathway.
The whole owls and stuff, right? Can
Yes,
Like-
you
like-
see
like the
occasionally these,
statues, yeah.
10-foot tall statues of owls, and they're like
Does-
these are ancient. They're covered in moss. Some of them you would hardly recognize as being an owl if it wasn't for the fact that some previous ones you've seen are much more detailed.
does Tali have an idea about what, like, owl symbolism and any potential being it relates to, any potential mythology?
You can roll me
mythology it
a.
relates
I'll let you do a
to?
history, arcana, or religion check.
History, arcana, religion. Let's do religion, but with disadvantage. Oh, this is just terrible. 5?
5.
Can I do a big think?
Owls. Oh, wise. But,
I'm tired.
aw, owls. Like it's kind of. It's almost like the symbolism of owls is almost oversaturated. Locke, the god of knowledge, uses owls, but as does every other library. There are probably like owl spirits in forests as well. Like it's just so much like it's oversaturated the owl market. Like you can't like
The owl
pick one
market.
or another.
It's just
So
Yeah.
it's not
not
like
worth.
your mind darts between several things, but none of them sort of you're not landing on anything in particular.
Is
Um,
Brask? Sorry, is Brask keeping pace or is he falling behind?
Let me roll for it. Let's have a look. Tell you what, roll me another perception check, chat, see how he's doing.
11.
11. You sort of like swing back, look at Brask. You can't see Brask. Clearly, you've gone around a twist or a turn, and Brask hasn't yet emerged.
Okay, fantastic.
Right.
And Pebble is asleep, right? At the moment. Or...
You're not asleep necessarily. The
Oh, so you-
commotion and the shouting has probably woken you up. You
Cool.
are in the back. You were resting before this.
Nice.
So you're quite conscious of what's going on. Christina, however, lovely beach, mojitos, none the wiser.
Great.
Would there be any kind of mechanism to alert me of the outside world, or is it just?
Let me read the ability.
The
Maybe
island
we-
shakes.
Yeah,
I'll
shake the
read the
ambulance.
ability quickly. Because I know you can end it early if you want to, but I don't know if it tells if you have any feedback. So let's find out. While I'm thinking that, looking at that, does anyone else do anything? Pebble,
Think. I would have spotted. Well, have I spotted the? I mean, how much is Brask lagging behind?
Roll me
Oh,
a perception
yeah.
check.
Oh yeah, okay.
Pebble, you are at the back, you might see him. So roll a perception check.
18.
18. You also can't see Brass.
Is that
Like,
with
you can see-
disadvantage? Because it doesn't Pebble have
That
it
was with
with-
disadvantage.
Oh no, then I did wrong.
Yeah, the roll with disadvantage.
Just roll one more and then
Yeah,
take the lowest.
6.
6, okay. Unchanged. You still can't see Brass. But you, there's no light source here. Apart from those occasional fireflies, you're having real trouble, seeing distances, so you just cannot see Brass. But it could be that he's there, and you just can't see him in the darkness. It could be that you've just turned a corner, you're having real trouble placing what's going on here. So you haven't got a torch or anything with you.
So
Charlie,
yeah. Go.
try something. Wait, go first, Pebble.
on.
Pebble, no, because Pebble has just woken up, so he's
Yeah,
finding his
And,
bed.
and
So that's
for
fine.
Christina, so this is the important line. While inside, you can hear the area around your vessel as if you were in space. So while you've been relaxing on the beach, occasionally hearing the snores of a donkey, you did suddenly hear Totali and Chad shout, "Warrior, stop!" So you're quite aware something's going on outside.
Great.
Oh, I'm gonna get out.
Good.
I imagine what it is on your little beach, there's a little table next to you, and it has an old tiny radio, and it's just
Yeah.
blaring out noises from the
Great.
outside.
Fantastic.
That's cute.
Yes, you can emerge. So, Pebble, as you're desperately scanning for Brass, suddenly there is this bloop noise. As
Ooh.
Christina emerges next to you.
Ooh, how does it?
You
Yeah.
watch as the necklace basically rises up, and as Christina forms within the necklace.
That's super cool. How does the donkey take that?
Not well.
Yeah, I was thinking.
Pebble, you just hear, "Oh shit!"
And maybe.
Um,
Oh,
but anyway.
does the donkey is the donkey as startled as to leave the car?
Donkey's not doing anything right now
Oh.
because the cart's moving too fast.
I need to chase that donkey down again, second time in the session.
Anyway. Christina, you have emerged. Is there anything you want to do?
Can I do like a perception? Is it worth doing a perception check? Because I know that cart is just sort of.
Yeah. Is there anything in particular you're trying to spot? Like, you can see that you're in a wood pretty quickly and easily. You occasionally.
I don't think I need to do a check. I think I just need to be like, what's going on?
You shout to the rest of your party, who you can fill her in.
Is it easy to shout from the front to the back?
Yeah, why not?
Okay.
Is the
I have something I would like to do. Let's try.
go for it?
Because I have a glaive,
Mm-hmm.
which is quite long.
Mm-hmm.
So I really want to try and like shove it into the ground to create like a braking force.
Yeah.
Or maybe with the big sword that we have, if I don't break my glaive.
Sure.
But you know, like like basically to like try and like put some sort of break. Does that make
Well,
sense?
No, it doesn't make sense. No, 100% makes sense. And as you're kind of contemplating these options and kind of like, I don't want to hurt the glaive, maybe the sword, you suddenly notice as in this winding path immediately opens up into this large clearing.
Okay.
As you, Chad and Tani, looking out the front, you just see that you enter this almost like circular clearing. There is an opening at the top where the canopy opens, and you can see the night sky, you see twinkling stars. And in this clearing, there are, it looks like maybe 5 of these owl statues kind of dotted, like equidistant around the edge. And Warrior suddenly just slows down to a stop in the middle of this clearing.
Well, what? Why? Why did you bring us here?
Wolf looks up at you. How did we get here?
Got us here. You brought us here.
Oh,
Where is he?
no.
Well, we're in the forest, so good for you.
Yeah.
Chad's gonna immediately know we've stopped. He's gonna get off and jog back to the entrance to see if he can hear Brask coming along or something.
Roll me one more perception check.
Yeah.
Sally will also get off the cart and try and get Wolf to let go of it.
So willpower.
Just a lowly 7.
7, okay. So you jog back to the way you came, and it's sort of like as a path, and you can see it kind of curves like, a little bit.
Yeah.
So you jog a little, like 5 feet down to see the curve, and it curves, and then there is a wall
Nah.
of branches and
no.
thickets. There was a path there. You're 100% sure there was a path there. You must have been a path there. You came through it. But there's not a path there anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And more importantly, there's no Brask. It's almost as if the forest has grown over the path where you've just come through. But you didn't hear anything. There's just a block there. And Brask must be somewhere beyond this wall that's now turned up.
Wall of branches, he said, like a big hedge. Big thick.
So like there's trees there as well, but there's like you can see like sharp thickets and brambles.
Can Chad immediately just try swinging at it to see how with the
Roll
sword?
to hit. Roll to hit.
Oh, sorry. So getting used to having it on here. 15 to hit.
15 will hit. Roll damage.
13 damage.
13. So you get your sword out and you do a big like slice through it, and loads of these brambles and branches sort of cut away, and it opens a small clearing, and behind it you just see more brambles and branches. There is no sign that there is a pathway behind this. It almost looks like this could go back infinitely.
Right.
If you almost started to, like, if it wasn't for the hero moment, you'd almost start to doubt if there was a pathway here. Maybe you got it wrong. Maybe you ran and didn't Ray, but like you're like, no, I'm dead certain that there was a pathway here.
Yeah.
It just isn't now.
The last thing Chad's gonna do here is call out Brask's name.
Yeah.
Uh,
So you shout out Brask's name. You wait a moment. Where are you? You
Huh?
hear somewhere beyond this wall. I lost the path.
Brask, stay exactly where you are. Don't move. Are you safe?
Brask's like, yes, I will stay.
Good. Are you on a path still?
I think so. I can't see. It's dark.
Okay. Stay there. We'll be back for you. I don't know how long. Really sorry. You're strong. Be strong.
And you're gonna turn and run back to the clearing, are you?
Yeah.
Is there anything else in this clearing? Because Tyler's gonna get off the cart,
Yeah.
but like, what's it, surroundings check real quick because
Roll me a perception check.
yeah, this is gonna go.
So while you're doing that, Chad, you run back up the pathway to this clearing.
Oh no!
It's a bit further away than you thought it was.
Oh.
Oh
You run
no!
forward, I think it's almost like twice as long, and eventually you do find a clearing. There's only 3 of those statues. None of your companions are there.
Nice.
Okay, I got a 16.
16. As you're scanning around, looking at these 5 statues, these fireflies around them, you look up and you can see the twinkling sort of starlight. There's no moon in the sky, but that's about right. Like where the position, like it was late at night, the moon probably would be covered by the branches.
Nothing of note.
Yeah, you probably hear the shout of Brask and Chad in the distance.
Well, have we perceived that Chad? I mean,
We
can I-
wouldn't know.
All right.
Chad ran off to go find Brask. Hasn't come back yet.
Cool. Fantastic.
Yeah, Tali will kind of go to find the Christina and Pebble. I don't know what's going on here. We probably shouldn't. We should try and stay together. Chad ran off. I don't know where he went.
Phew. Great. Everything is fine.
Chad!
Yeah.
Thaumaturgy. Chad!
Chad, you hear Tali's voice shouting out to you. It sounds quite close by, but not where you are.
Close by because of the thaumaturgy, presumably.
Maybe.
Not because of, yeah. Yeah. Where are you guys? What happened? Now, Chad is going to be assuming that they've moved.
Sure.
Because he probably won't have noticed that the number of statues
that's
is different. Yo, where are you guys?
We haven't moved. You ran off, and were you gonna come back? Where
Yeah,
are you?
I've just come back into the. I'm in the clearing. Yeah,
No.
you've all moved.
No, we didn't move, Chad.
Right.
Okay, great.
Okay.
Is there anything around you? Do you see anything? There's nothing in this clearing.
Yeah, I mean, I'm in a clearing. There are. Yeah, there's a few statues. Otherwise, it's the clearing that we were in.
It's not the same clearing. Because we're here, and you're not here.
But we can hear each other.
Yes, because I have magic!
Yeah, like Chad,
Oh.
you're having to proper like yell to kind of.
Right.
It's like you can hear, but it's not. The voice isn't emanating from your clearing. It is emanating from like through some of these bushes and thickets.
Yeah. Can I detect which? Can I?
Direction.
Yeah. Do I get a direction on it?
Roll me a perception check.
Let's have a look. Oh, 14.
14. Okay. Yeah, you start to get a detection. It seems to be coming from. You get a sense of direction because I can't give you a compass point because it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Yet, so, but it
Yeah,
seems
yeah.
to be coming from like emanating from behind one of these statues. And as you kind of turn your focus to it and look, you suddenly have a moment where you realize that behind the statue, you see this sort of silhouette of a person, but 10 foot tall, and they seem to sort of step slightly out of this wall of this thicket. And you see what appears to be a feminine form, but completely consisting of trees and branches. Like
Nice.
the lower half seems to be wood and branches, but as it rises out the body, you start to see more plant matter and flowers near the top, almost creating like hair.
That's
You just hear this
kinda
voice echo out, just think, "Who be ye mortals?"
cool. Which is mortals, isn't it? Sorry.
You think we don't hear this
You're
yet?
clearing
Alright.
nothing.
Oh.
You don't hear this. This is just Chad who sees and hears
It's
this.
Chad. Chad's
Look.
gonna immediately have his sword, be drawing his sword with his shield, like, Where are you? Never mind who I am. Who are you? Where am I? Where am I? Where's my team?
This being looks at you like, of course, a mortal draws a weapon. Foul mortals. Have ye come to ruin our home, our woods? Cut away at our branches. Have ye?
Look, I think we've got a complete misunderstanding here.
This creature
Fine.
seems to step out of the woods, and you just see, this 10-foot tall, like, female form.
Just be like, okay, yeah, maybe I was a little hasty on the whole. Okay, I'll put the sword away. I'm putting that away. Just trying to get to my companion.
Your purpose here.
I was here with my team, the great bunch of people, your colleagues, comrades,
Companions. Everything that
yeah.
starts with a Z.
Anything that's not friends. Yeah, we came just to deliver a big what do I call a wood troll. You just to deliver a wood troll back here where they're from, and then we wanted to leave. We did not want to come this far in. Didn't mean any harm.
This creature takes a step towards you, and like as it does, you'd expect like for the size of it, some sort of like footprint or rumble of the earth, but it seems soft.
Mm-mm.
There's no noise or movement as thing steps towards you. You bring a beast, a predator to these woods, and plan to set it loose? On whose permission? On whose authority? No. I would not allow this. As he just continues to take one more step towards you.
Sorry, it's outside. Sorry,
Chad.
just outside of all this. This is really cool, Adam. Great stuff. Chad's gonna try and draw himself up to obviously not 10 feet tall. Chad's gonna like, yeah. Look, listen. I'm a private individual. Myself and my team, we take jobs. We don't ask too many questions. And this very nice troll was having a really terrible time in the city, and we have brought them here, and that's just the way it's going to be. Okay? If you've got trouble with that, then you'll have to resolve that with the troll themselves. But I need myself and my team. We need to leave.
Very well. And as she says that, there's a breeze and the thing just blows away into leaves. Just immediately just turns into a stack of leaves and disappears. And you are left alone in this clearing again.
That's good. Okay, yeah, that went pretty well.
Yeah, sure.
In the clearing with Tali, Pebble, and Christina, you hear a voice.
Oh,
So this is the beast that ye have brought to our home. And you see walking out of the wall the same 10-foot tall feminine figure of this woman completely comprised of plant matter stepping into, again, just softly walking, no noise, no weight to their footsteps. The predator you intend to let loose on our home.
Well,
We wanted to take Wolf here to a forest. Not. I mean. Yeah, Pebble's lost for words, but he's just trying to imply that if it's gonna be a problem, we can find another forest, basically.
do you are you the authority of this land? We really didn't mean to intrude.
I am a protector of this realm, yes.
Okay, good. We don't want to harm anyone. We don't want to fight with anybody. We just Woyof was trapped with unkind owners, masters, and we just wanted to return her to a natural environment. Not to do harm, but just to,
Just to live.
Yes, predator, but predators are needed in environments. There's a cycle, a life cycle. I'm sure you know all about that. Things give birth, things die, things are eaten. It's the way of life.
Yes, but there is a delicate balance to such things. You bring a new predator to these lands, a hungry troll. What of the rabbits and deer that live here, which you would feast upon? Should they die for this creature? You can see, by the way, if you look over to Woyof, Woyof has gone down on her knees, almost like in reverence of this creature. And would just like head into the earth.
No, copy Woyof. Harley is let's just
follow-
give respect to this thing. Like this, she's just gonna kind of get on her knees, like a need of like respect.
No.
No, okay, I'm
I
sorry.
know of mortal treachery. You bring a beast to these lands to slay it, to destroy it. Like all
No,
other lands before.
no, that's
No
not what we
forest
want.
Survives against the axe and the steel and the fire of mortals.
I don't want that. We don't want that. Ty doesn't want that. I'm also not technically quite mortal. I have a questionable mortal.
Great. Good chat.
I'm a follower of Intin. I'm Intin's messenger, I guess. No, Intin presides over magic.
There's a moment where this creature just goes silent, and this creature does not seem to breathe. Though it is just almost you would believe it's statue for a moment as it just seems to ponder over you.
Mhm.
And as you look up on its face occasionally, you notice that there's almost like a wooden plate where the face would be, almost like a mask.
Mm.
And it doesn't seem to have eyes, but it seems like fireflies that sort of dart and duck around it just seem to rest on like a ledge, almost creating eyes on this thing.
Cool.
If, in any likely circumstance, you are just mortals, then this forest will know. If you can find your exit to this place, then you are just. But if not, this forest will eat you alive. And then the thing just slowly walks
No, if we
backwards.
leave, can we
into
keep
the-
Woyof stay here?
Just walks backwards into the hedge and just disappears. Seems to just get lost amongst the
Can Woyof
brambles.
stay?
Fantastic. Well, okay. Let's cast some.
Woyof, do you know who that was?
You look over to Woyof and you can see Woyof has branches and brambles now growing around her.
Of course.
And she just seems to be almost frozen in this position on the floor.
Tapper?
Tap her. Her skin is now made of wood. Not just the bark which she's had before, but like every part of her skin is now wooden.
I mean, is she alive?
Roll me medicine check.
Can I check as well?
Sure, I'll let one of you two do it with advantage.
Oh, okay.
Actually, you both have hold on. You both have exhaustion, so I'll let one of you do it normally, which I mean
Alright.
Tyler's already done. So Tyler, you can
Oh no, I did with disadvantage.
Okay, start again. One of you two do a medicine
Tyler.
check.
Pebble.
Alright.
Alright.
Let's get Pebble. Although Pebble has a -1 as well. 'Cause of stress.
So
Yes,
it's a
fine.
17.
17, okay. So, you're not 100% sure what you're looking for. You've never tried to perform any kind of medicine on a troll before. But you do know what to check for, if someone's alive or not. And then you need to move around like you're sort of prodding and poking at Woyof in between these vines, which are still growing around her. Eventually you come out and like check if she's breathing.
Mhm.
And she is not breathing currently.
Damn it.
Can I maybe do an Arcana check to see
Yeah,
what
go for it.
is
Yes, please roll me an Arcana check.
8.
Hey, 8. Some freaky wood shit.
Huh?
What you get from that is you're from a very magical nation, so you are aware of magic. But you are essentially from a very almost put it this way, like an arcane magic. You're much more about studying, almost like knowledge and learning. This seems to be a very It's clearly a magic, but it's an ancient magic.
Mm.
Almost druidic magic, which you do not know a lot about. You know it exists, but people in your society don't study it.
Harley wants to do something.
Yep.
So I guess upon hearing the information that Wolf maybe isn't breathing, and we're not sure if she's dying or not, Talia wants to try and say something. This might not go very well, but in Sylvan, and basically kind of like to the forest, but like again in Sylvan to say, it's fine to test us, see if we're just, but don't punish this innocent creature that hasn't done anything wrong.
Ooh, okay.
This creature didn't choose that we brought this creature here. It's not this creature's fault, so don't punish it. Yeah.
Out of interest, Pebble and Christina, do either of you two speak Sylvan? If you look at your languages section on D&D Beyond.
No.
No. Okay. So to get and give you context, it's almost like Tali's speaking like Celtic. There's a language that you're not familiar with, but it has a kind of a kind of that kind of tone. Yeah. These words ring out, and they almost like when you do that predient, and they echo slightly more lower than your normal words. You then hear this kind of sort of rumbling noise, and suddenly, from the clearing you're in, 4 more pathways just suddenly open up.
Okay.
So now in this clearing you're in, there are 5 pathways leading off of it.
Looks at okay, but looks at Wolf.
While the vines and stuff have stopped growing on her, but she's still there.
Okay. Pebble
At
is
the moment.
scared.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, Pebble is scared. Pebble wants to make the right choice, of course. With the paths, but Pebble is very scared. I don't know.
Yeah, as you're sort of scared,
paralyzed.
Pebble, and you're sort of like looking around trying to figure out what it's doing, you hear a voice.
Only I hear a voice.
Only you hear this voice, not that you are actually aware of that yet, but you hear a voice. Just, your friends have led you to danger again, haven't they?
Say again.
Your friends have led you to danger again, haven't they? This keeps happening. It's not fair that you suffer for their recklessness.
Great.
And
Do I-
it's a very different. It's not the same voice from that large creature that was for you. It's almost like a childlike voice. Is it fair that you suffer for their recklessness? Even
Pebble's
now, you're at risk of losing your arm because of Christina's inattentiveness. If she'd just gone earlier to her great auntie, this wouldn't be happening to you. That's not fair, is it?
Is this Spud talking to me? Fucking hell. Where is Spud?
Spud's on the cart.
Alright.
No, but Spud probably would have got off the cart at this point. But you look down to Spud, and Spud is sort of like looking around, sniffing the air, trying to figure out what's going on.
Yeah, because it's been a minute since I last checked.
But this is not Spud's voice. Spud's voice is, as much as I can do, is Danny DeVito.
Is it a voice that I've ever heard before? Or no, not at
Roll
all?
me a history check.
Oh, Spud's the pug from Men in Black.
Is it? Oh.
Yes, but not that was intentional. But you're 100%
Yeah.
right. Must have been.
Yeah.
Oh, do I have to roll with?
Is that with disadvantage? Yeah.
Yes, disadvantage, please, Pebble.
You can right click on the actual thing and select
Yeah.
disadvantage.
But like, well, it's fine. It's fine. An 8, because it was an 8 or a 9.
8.
So it's okay.
You've never heard this voice before.
Pebble's gonna look at his arm. Pebble's.
Starting again, the purplish skin.
Yeah.
And now that your attention has been drawn to it once again, it aches. Like you're able to kind of ignore it while you're traveling or while you're fighting Wyvern. But now that someone's like literally pointed it out to you how much it hurts, it hurts a lot.
Pebble's gonna remember what Tali told Pebble. Pebble's gonna have like a process, is basically what I'm trying to convey. The first thing that Pebble is gonna ask is, who are you?
Okay.
So Pebble
You
asks, who are you, to
Yeah.
the general public, and you're probably estranged by it.
Yeah, so Tali and Christina, you hear Pebble out loud say, "Who are you?"
Are you okay?
Do I hear that? Have I completely disconnected from life, or
No, you hear Tali say,
Okay.
"Are you okay?"
uh? Pebble, no. I think. Well, is this something that I have to challenge? Does Pebble know that this voice is only in it? I mean, based on what based
You
on.
can hear a voice. You don't know if anyone else can hear the voice.
But it's like it's pretty because of the conversation, because of what the voice was telling me. I don't know. I might be inclined. Pebble might be inclined to think that it's a voice that only he can hear.
I think any assumption that Unai can make about this, Pebble can
Okay.
make about this at the moment, unless I say otherwise.
How
so.
clear is the voice? Is the voice like coming from a space, or is it like in?
It's almost as if it was being whispered into your ear.
Yeah. Fair enough. So, I basically say to the party, I say like, someone or something is speaking to me. Hold on. I'm terrified at this point. Yeah. And there's no answer to the "who are you" thing.
Not at the moment.
Okay. So I'm gonna leave it there, and I'm gonna continue looking at the 5 exits, and I'm gonna obviously look at them with all 3 eyes and see
Yeah,
if
is there a
there's
difference?
if there's any sign that.
They all sort of like, some of them are straight, some of them sort of curve and
Hmm.
wind off, but at a quick glance from this clearing, they all look pretty similar.
Cool.
While you're considering your next move there, Chad, back in your little pod, you're looking around and yours doesn't have any exits. You are still in this kind of bubble, apart from that one path that you entered through.
Okay, so nothing changed the moment that the other ones opened up for the other
No,
group.
and you've been left there's a period of time that goes by when nothing's happening. So what do you do?
So, Chant's gonna go over to the statue that the tree lady came out from
Yeah.
behind, and is gonna have a heck and investigate of
Sure.
it, just to see
me.
what he can see of it.
Roll me an investigation check.
He sees nothing. There was a 5.
Yeah, you spent ages like looking and you trying to like work out like, is there a space like where she came through, or even like an illusion, and you kind of like do you like touch the brambles and stuff like that to see if like they're real or anything like that, or you kind of prodding them with your
Yes,
sword?
I'm going all around the
Yeah.
statue with the thing, and I'm looking at the stuff behind it and stuff, and
Yeah.
I'm prodding, probably prodding still with the sword, but very very gently to not
Yeah.
scratch anything.
That's fair. It is completely solid. Like, you couldn't if you were to just try and walk into it, you would be prevented. This thing is almost solid. So the
Yeah.
fact that this creature was just effortlessly glided through it, I mean, it's obviously magical, but you're like, this is not something that a pathway that's accessible to you. I was just
Okay.
sitting there contemplating that. There was a voice behind you.
Hmm.
Do you trust your companions?
Here we go.
Here we go. Here we go.
again.
Gonna turn round and see it before answering. Gonna see if there's someone behind me.
Sure. There is not.
There is not. Chad's gonna get all indignant against, like, who are you? Who said that? How dare you challenge my the companionship of my team, my colleagues?
I should think I'm the only one who can challenge you, Chadronethius. This voice is incredibly familiar to you, Dad.
Yeah.
It's your father's voice.
I was literally gonna ask if it was my dad's voice.
Still sourceless.
What?
You don't like see him anywhere, but
Father? What?
You have not answered my question yet, Chadonethius. Do you trust your companions?
Yes, Father. I do trust them. They may be wildly inconsistent and unworldly and strange, but I'm beginning to trust them. Yes. What does it matter to you, Father? And where are you?
Then why have you not told them? You've told one of them, sure. But you hide the truth from the others. If you trust them, why not tell them?
Tell them that I trust
Do
them.
you fear them? Do you fear what they will do if they found out about your affliction?
Father, how do you know about that?
Roll me intelligence check at this point, Chad. Or insight,
Yeah.
I'll let you do one or the other.
Do insight to see if Chad realizes if this is a trick being played. That's a 9.
9, okay. Nope, you as far as you can tell, your dad is somehow talking to you.
Yeah. It wouldn't be the weirdest thing that's happened today.
No, of course not.
So, So Chad's response stands.
Yeah.
Father, how do you know about that?
You have never been able to hide anything from me, Chadonethius.
That's true.
But it is a slight against you, me, and your mother that you have not even told us. Would not a letter suffice? Why not return home? Do you not trust us with knowledge of your affliction?
Father, I can fix it. I don't know how yet, but I can, and I will, and I didn't want to bring this to
There
you.
are strengths in numbers and companionship. Why hide this to yourself? We could fix it together. You could fix it with the help of your companions. Why not tell them? Why do you hide it from 3 of them?
Can I roll another insight check, please? Because that's not the kind of the power in numbers and the trusting of others is not the kind of thing that Chad's dad would say to him.
I'll let you roll an insight check with advantage.
That's an advantage. Where's advantage? I'm just going to roll it twice. So I can never find out where the advantage is on here. Insight. Well, the first one is a natural 20.
Well, good. Yeah, so it's
Yeah,
not
and then a
only
15.
not only is your dad saying messages that aren't really indicative of what he taught you, it's also things like maybe he somehow found out you're a vampire. But there's no way he would know that you've only told Tarly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, there is some very specific knowledge going on here that, is clearly you're not talking to your dad.
Chad's gonna. I know my father. To the extent that he allowed me to. And
That's not very conclusive.
I know that he would never suggest that I share a problem. Who are you?
So he taught you to be selfish with your issues, though.
He taught me to be strong.
You still have not answered my question. Why have you not told your companions? Are you afraid of what they will do to you if they find out? Answer me this, and I will tell you my name.
Ooh.
No.
Very well. Be selfish with your knowledge.
I will.
That's the last thing you hear.
Cool. What's
I
in-
would like to. Tali would like to ritual cast detect magic.
Cool. So we'll comment on that. Actually, one thing, there's a moment of silence for you, Chad. And you hear this kind of like sounds of like earth ripping and tearing. And you notice that the clothes you're in suddenly starts to contract, and the walls start to come in towards you. Sorry, back in the pod with the other three.
Well, or maybe not ritual cast. I mean,
Yes,
we
you have
don't
the
do
5
detect
pathways
magic.
before you. Yeah, detect magic. Okay,
Yeah, I mean, do we have 10 minutes?
up to you.
Quite a
You
long
have You have
time.
as long as you want.
What's the difference from casting it normally and
It
ritually?
doesn't take
or-
up a
So
spell
if you
slot.
cast it normally, use a spell slot. If you ritual cast it, it takes 10 minutes longer to
Oh,
cast, but
you
it's
don't.
free.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
nice.
Like,
I
it's
didn't
just
know
like
this.
something's going on here, but
Not every class can ritual cast. So
Okay.
it varies.
and not every spell can be ritual cast. It's just
Fair enough.
something.
Yes.
There's something going on here. I want to get some more information. I could try and figure out what kind of magic it is, but we'd have to stay here for a little bit. What do you guys think?
Okay. If I hear
Christina,
from
you're
this.
muted. Verity, you're muted.
Oh no, Christina.
Sorry. Well, we've got nothing better to do.
Yeah, I am.
Okay. True.
I will report back if I hear from this voice again.
Hmm.
Pebble is not. Pebble knows where Pebble stands and why he joined this party.
Okay, so yeah, Ty's gonna do that. So it kind of looks like she kind of gets some like incense in like the I don't know what it's called, but like the thing that you can like wave around.
Yeah.
That has nice.
The
and she
censer.
kind of like. Yeah, and she kind of walks around like in a. If you were looking at top down, it'd be like in like to make a runes.
So just quickly on that. Pebble, you're saying that you know where you stand. Just so I, as a DM, know, where does Pebble stand on this? Like, does he blame anyone for the danger he's been put in?
Not really. Pebble. No, because I mean, and it's. I think it's clear to Pebble since the moment. I mean, it's sort of like consequent to his actions since the moment that he kind of like adopted Spud, even knowing that he was one of the not baddies, but one of the minions of the crazy lady.
So
Pebble-
you don't see blame on anyone else. You see this is your own problem.
It's
Came from
it's our problem. It's not like
Yeah.
they made it worse. I mean,
That's fair.
I could be living off the streets. It's
no, that's
Yeah,
fine.
it's that kind of balance.
That's all I want to
yeah.
know. Sorry, and then so you're lighting the sensor, getting the thing. Are you then going to try and go down one of these pathways?
I was suggesting like she's gonna try and ritual cast it in front of the kind of pathways to see
Okay.
like is there any feeling of magic in this clearing or in any strongly any other clearing? Like is there
What is
anything?
the radius of detect magic?
I think it's like 30 feet, but let me check.
Okay, so basically, yeah, 30 feet is fine. If you basically sort of center yourself in this clearing,
Yeah.
you would be able to detect every sort of pathway.
Yes, let's do
Okay.
that.
I'm desperate to identify the voice. Like in my case, who is talking to me? Like I am desperate for that. But yeah, anyway.
And she will be like kind of saying in celestial, like Intin reveal
Mhm.
to us the magic that blesses this place.
Oh, that's very nice.
You spend the 10 minutes doing that, and the detect magic goes off.
Give it to me.
You get a barrage of magic.
Oh God. Okay.
Overwhelming.
This entire forest is magical.
What kind of magic though? I get to hear. I
every
get to
kind.
learn.
No,
Oh shit. Okay.
it wouldn't be every kind, but
Is it a particular creature or object in the area, or is it just everywhere?
every tree, every root, every
Yes, creature.
tiny
God,
plant
okay.
is magical here.
Oh no.
Boryoth is obviously magical, but the only things that aren't magical is basically the cart and your companions.
And
I
a
mean-
donkey, right? Yeah. Okay.
The donkey's not magical. Spud is magical. I'll
Yeah.
point that out as well.
That's transmutation magic. We already know that. So
Yeah,
good.
that's fine.
Did you know that Tali? Did Tali already know? Because maybe not.
Yeah, well, she did this earlier.
Oh right.
She did this when they were at the
Um,
pub.
So, specifically, the magic you get from the forest, and it is like I said, a massive combination. Is mostly a mix between illusion and enchantment magic.
Oh. Interesting. Okay.
While you're having this 10 minutes to yourself. and doing
Anything coming from the paths or no?
this, no.
Like
The
specifically.
path as magical as anything else.
Okay.
Christina, you hear
Hi.
a voice.
Hey.
Oh, it is.
Why are you bothering to learn magic at all? What is it that interests you in it? You read and you read and you read. Do you intend to grow your powers? Is that it? Is it power that interests you?
Hmm.
You recognize his voice. This is your grandmother's voice.
Okay. Well, yeah.
You hear. Could you say it out loud? Or are you thinking that thought?
Say it out loud.
Okay, so you just hear Christina go, well, yeah!
Well, yeah.
And I
Okay.
immediately, Pebble is like, is the voice talking to you as well? Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Well, yeah!
Charlie,
yeah.
Oh.
you're too busy doing your ritual. Like, you hear this conversation, but you know you have to keep
But
focused
no,
on the
no,
ritual.
focused.
Okay, I'm gonna try. I'm like, Christina, is the voice challenging you? Is the voice making you doubt things? Is the voice giving you fucking
Yeah.
trauma? Is the voice mean? Is a big meanie?
Yeah.
Great.
I'm wondering. Well, I did an Arcana check earlier, and it's like ancient magic, so I probably wouldn't privy this kind of thing. Wondering if I'd be privy to like tricks. Things like
Yeah, you'd.
Hey.
Well, with the knowledge from before, like, you know, like, ancient magic. Quite often it also coincides with, like, the Fae and fairies and tricksy things with them. But this voice
Like-
continues. While Pebble's trying to talk to you, this voice almost overlaps it. And it although it's a quieter voice, it almost seems louder than what Pebble's saying. And
So,
it
like,
drowns
bickering.
Pebble out most.
Right.
It's like,
I brought that up because I know I can do minor illusion. So, like,
Mm.
I know that these kind of tricks can, like,
Yes.
you can like make voices happen.
yes,
That's
absolutely.
why I'm just like,
Yeah.
not taking it seriously.
That's fair.
Hmm.
I just want to know, what do you intend to do with this power that you're gaining?
I'm not going to take over the bloody world if that's what you're wondering.
Christina, are you okay?
Yeah, Pebble, I'm going for a thing. It's fine. It's fine.
don't challenge it back. Do challenge it back, but don't just reveal to. I don't know. Do
Was
whatever
it
you
not
must.
only days ago you were disgusted at your own power? You killed that Nerfin with your own spell. It horrified you, and now you can't stop learning. You poured over magic. That sickened you so, why not give it up? Why not walk away from it? Why do you continue to learn? How do
you're
I
go-
know you don't want to just kill more?
Hey, I have had therapy in my time. I know how to work through a trauma or two. You can't fool me to second guessing. I've had this talk about death. I accept it. It comes. I'm not intended on like murdering for sport or like hurting anyone. Oh, you can ask me these rhetorical questions all you like. But I've got nothing for you.
Imagine Tali just being like, no, no, no,
Yeah,
no.
this whole
no.
It's like when you hear someone
I've
like
got it.
you're on the train, and you hear someone else having a phone call, and you're like, what are they talking
Yeah.
about? Like, it's very much that kind of feeling, Tali. When you give that response, though, Christina, there's no follow up. That seems to have abated the questioning, at the very least for now.
I wanna play it as if this Christina's response is the thing that gives Pebble the strength to not continue doubting. You know, he was still like pondering
Yeah.
over the hand and everything, but this is like, yeah, go on, like fuck yeah.
I'm gonna go
strong
to
now.
Pebble. Pebble.
Yeah.
Oh, things like this happen all the time.
Hmm.
People try and like. I've been through input down, being that I'm like not good enough for anything. Any decision I make is the wrong decision, and that I'm not worthy of anything. Right. You just gotta push. It is scary. That was scary. And I have to really overcompensate and push back at that.
Yeah.
If there is a voice, no matter if it's embodied or not, telling you to second guess yourself, you have to stay put in where you know who you are. Even if that you don't know completely who you are. You have to go with the facts that you have. I'm sorry you have to go through me going off on one there, but I've been
No,
through that enough times to know how to deal with it.
No,
Not nice.
it's good. You're absolutely right. Thank you. And now Pebble is gonna yell at the forest, which I assume is. Pebble is just gonna say how to phrase this properly. Pebble is gonna say, yeah, damn right. Problems happen. I joined this party because I wanted to, and we're gonna, get out of the sticky situation if we want to, or well, because we want to, and because we got in there in the first place. We all, I mean, no one has been dragging me into anything.
We're not here to mess you about or take advantage or hurt you.
Exactly.
We're here to work together.
I mean, I might lose my arm, but who cares?
I mean, I care. That's the next thing we're gonna deal with. This distraction is not ideal. Shout to the forest. This distraction is not ideal.
Yes, I'm gonna reply to the forest in an email saying, like, I want you to be fully conscious that this situation is not entirely optimal.
Inconvenient for us.
It's so corporate.
As these two are yelling out to the forest, Tali, your spell completes. The ritual is over.
You're like, what?
Yay!
Cool.
So from Tali, is there a kind of check I can do to see? Because highly suspicious that this forest doesn't exist. Can I
check?
Yeah, or is it like kind of like try and look for like any potential giveaways of that? But I can make an Arcana check.
Investigation check would be that. If you want to look for especially if you think it's an illusion, you can do an investigation check to see if it's an illusion.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. But what the Arcana check would be for what? To
Knowledge about things.
Let's go Arcana. It's just like, what can she, like, if it was an illusion, like, what would she know? Because I'm rolling with disadvantage anyway. And that's gonna give you a better chance of, natural 1. I don't know anything.
Tali's been
it's not so much
really
you don't know
bad.
anything, it's just that there's so many things this could be.
Yeah.
This
Oh,
could
right.
be an illusionary force that's been conjured around you. This could be a dream you're just having, and actually none of your companions could be here. You could be here alone. You could have accidentally gone through a portal. Those two owl statues could be a portal to another world. Like, there is so many possibilities going on right now that
I'm gonna hold on to my dream catcher.
you're getting
Oh,
lost within
nice.
them.
Okay, alright, fine. Okay. There's lots of magic here, which we probably already guessed. Yeah, there's a lot of magic here. This might not be real, so just keep your wits about you.
Okay.
Maybe we should just keep moving. I will say, like, as she was doing the ritual cast, like, because Nighttime Talia has like runes, like kind of dark blue, like faded blue runes. They would have lit up as she was doing her magic. But yeah, maybe we should keep moving. I mean, there are pathways. Shall we? We should stick together.
Stick together.
Probably take the cart and everything. I don't want to lose it.
I have a proposal.
Yeah.
So I wear lots of ribbons in my hair. That's just part of what Christina does. So I'm gonna suggest taking some ribbons out of my hair and tying our hands, like our wrists together, that we don't physically
Mine is
Okay.
gonna fall off.
get spirited away by the forest.
Yeah,
Okay,
I
but
like that.
tie my good hand, not my bad hand, because otherwise it's just gonna. It's just not gonna be good.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good idea. Thank you.
Are you gonna tie Spud and Jennifer to yourselves as well?
Spud is gonna travel momentarily. I don't know. Can we make shifts like some sort of like bum bag for Spud, because I have like accessory.
You can make him
toolboxes
at least-
things. Sorry?
Make him a lead out of a ribbon.
Yeah.
He just walks in.
I have rope as well.
Like, get
I
like
mean,
one of those
we're-
little like baby beyond things and have him like up here.
Yeah, some sort of thing like that with like a rug or something, and I just like cradle
Yeah, okay.
Spud.
What's like with all the, like the blankets and stuff you got, you could probably make some sort of cradle of the bear around. And he's just like, thank you, I don't want to get lost.
Oh,
What's weird about that is Christina and Tali, you hear them talking in common.
Wait.
Thank you. This is, I don't want to.
You can talk.
one second.
What?
One
Yeah, of course I can talk.
second. Am I aware of when I am speaking with animals and when I am not?
Yeah, you are aware of that. And imagine because you were dealing with blood, I would say you probably activated that ability.
I
And
I
as of
look
right
around
now,
confused
Oh.
to Tali and Christina. I shut it off.
Yep.
Do I hear Spud talking in common again?
as you do this weird hand gesture in your head
Why?
as you turn off your brain, Spud looks at you and goes, "What are you doing?"
You can
Uh,
talk.
And you can hear him.
I mean, I can talk to animals, but this response.
Yeah, but he can talk like.
Yeah.
One second.
Wait,
And
Genevieve,
as your
Genevieve, can you talk?
mind's being blown, yeah, Jennifer's like, "What's going on around here?"
Genevieve, you can talk. I'm so sorry. And she just like hugs the donkey.
Where are we now?
We're in the forest.
Okay, so this is a
We're
very
in the
magical forest.
and
then.
it's okay. It's okay. We're in the forest. We're together, and we're just gonna tie the ribbon to her bridle.
Yeah.
And we're gonna stay together. And ideally, we would take the cart because we have to return this cart, otherwise we won't get the deposit back.
I think that's the least of our worries right now.
Well, I just okay, but then what if we need to borrow another car some other time? He doesn't trust us. We never bring his carts back.
As
Yeah,
you're sort of
true.
discussing the cart and looking around, the pathways leading out this clearing, they're all too tight to bring the cart down.
Oh no!
What?
Okay, fine. I guess we'll leave it then. Never mind. Actually, okay. I guess we'll be fine.
No,
We'll
one
go
second,
back
one
to it,
second,
right?
one second. Can we put the cart inside the amulet or something weird like that? Inside like a pocket dimension.
Nah.
No, that's
Damn.
not on that.
This bag of holding.
We should have known from the Wyverns that Adam never intended us to get any of this stuff back.
I mean, yeah, who would have thought, right? Like, an adventure in D&D? No.
I guess we'll leave it with Wolf, and Wolf can,
One second.
it's pretty obvious, I guess. Fine. Let's just pick a
No,
path.
no.
Let's just go.
I'm not allowing this. Pebble is determined. Pebble is gonna cast Enlarge Reduce.
But it's for 1 minute, right?
Oh, damn it. You're right.
You can, but it's a minute.
No, it's not. No. Alright, Pebble would know better. Because otherwise we would be like.
You would have known because it
Yeah.
would have happened when we did with
Ah,
Wolf to
damn it.
make it us more.
Those have been like
That
a
could be
nice
quite
device.
fun and potentially useful if the cart did expand in the middle of a
Yeah.
thing that could end up being.
Hilarious, but no.
Good to know. Okay, so are you picking one of these pathways to go down?
That's what Tali will suggest.
Okay.
There's no point just staying here.
Yep, you're right.
Yep.
Also, Genevieve, we're cool. Sorry, I'm scared too. I know that we're both scared. Please, let's be friends.
Why did you tell me I was going to be in danger? You could have warned me. I
don't
want to leave home.
I mean, the life equals danger.
No, Pebble, Genevieve, it's fine. We are here to protect you, and we're gonna protect each other. That's how this works. It's scary, but we work together.
He kind of comes up close to you, Tali.
Pebble,
He
We
keeps saying
protect
bad
each other.
things.
I was
I don't
gonna,
like him. Make him stop.
I was gonna add a moral to that story. That's fine.
This is a donkey. It doesn't understand morals. It understands
Yeah.
you saying danger, 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 danger.
Pebble is very scared. That's why he's
let's
channeling
get
it. He's channeling.
we're gonna feel better when we're walking. So let's pick a path that wasn't, because 4 paths opened up. So let's take one of the ones that were opened up because that's yeah. Let's just pick one.
You start walking down these pathways, and
Yes.
as you do, what's really interesting, whereas when you were traveling before, there were obviously these much wider pathways that kind of curved and twisted. These, they kind of go forward and they have an abrupt angle. You're almost in like a hedge maze now.
Mm.
You kind of
Oh,
walk
boy.
and they start to split and break, and you start to just wander this maze, trying your best to kind of like navigate. But they are like tight, like almost like practically have to go single file now. And they're very like short, like corridors, which is like almost like 10-15 foot, and then it turns, and then you're struggling to lose your ability to navigate. And as you're walking, Pebble, you hear that voice again. You know, I could help you, right? I could take that band off you if you wanted to.
Pebble doesn't do anything. Pebble's not going to interact with this. Pebble's going to try not to interact with this voice.
Yeah. It's well within my power. You don't need to suffer needlessly. You know where you need to be and when you need to be there. Let me help you.
Not yet. Like, well, Pebble doesn't say anything, but...
Who knows how long you're going to be here for? Like, I wouldn't want to see you hurt. I'd only need a small payment. He's been a burden to you anyway. Just let me take Spud. Let me take him into the forest, and I'll take that band off for you.
Pebble...
He lied to you anyway. You don't like him anymore.
Pebble does this with Spud. Pebble protects Spud and carries on. I mean, Pebble's language is gonna be physical, not verbal with this voice.
Yeah. As you hug Spud, Spud's like, "Hey, a little tight there, buddy.
I don't want to lose you."
I'm tied to you. You can.
Yeah, sure.
But
Never say
the
no.
voice. Yeah, the voice stops at that point. Chad, back in your clearing. This isn't like the trash compactor in Star Wars. Like, this does stop, but you are now almost like in a 5-foot ring where it's just bramble. There are no statues anymore. They've all been absorbed into this forest. What have you been up to? Or what are you doing? This hasn't been that long.
So, while it was, I take it the path that I was initially hacking away at when I first came into here, that I take it that's no longer like visible.
It's gone. It
Chad
almost got absorbed by this growth.
Okay. As it's coming at Chad is unnerved by all of this.
Mm-hmm.
I'd say, and Chad's going to call out to the voice, to the general thing, and he's going to say, yeah.
Sorry.
I don't know why, so I have to do the because that helps me get into the voice.
Yeah, it's alright.
Don't know why you want to know these things, but if you do want to know, ask me in your real voice.
Ooh.
I'm not going to talk to the artificial voice of my father. I am not going to respond to you on that. That's not on.
Make me an intimidation check.
Not okay.
Yeah.
That's a 22.
Fucking hell.
Excellent. These words echo out, and there is silence. And you're not sure how to take that for a second. But then you hear the tearing as two pathways open up from where you are. Kind of almost like a fork in front of you. And you see one opens up, and you see the exterior of the forest. A way out. And the other one opens up, and it leads you into another clearing. And you can see, twisted and tangled in a bush, is Brask. Ah! Help me! Chad, help me! I'm not strong enough! There's an exit before you, and there is Brask, suffering and clawing and reaching for your help.
I roll an insight check to
Yeah,
see if Chad, because Chad is just to justify this. Chad has already successfully
Called out.
called out an illusion already, an auditory one. But Chad wants to see if either of these two things that he's seeing look like they're real.
Roll me an insight check.
11.
11. It's hard to tell. Like, you obviously know that you've travelled in further than the edge of the forest, so physically speaking, the edge of the forest shouldn't be there. But also, you face so much weird shit here that That
Yeah.
could very easily be the inside. Like, you cannot
Well, it
confirm
could just
or deny
be
that.
that could be the other side of the forest, I
Yeah,
suppose.
absolutely. Like, there's no way of going that is or isn't the exit. And the same with Brass. Like, you've seen an illusion, or the vocal illusion of your father, but you didn't see it. There was no physical body.
Yeah.
There is a physical Brass there, and he's speaking in Brass voice. So, again, is enough tricks here that this could be a trap, or this could genuinely be your friend asking for help.
Dad's gonna go to Brask.
You run down this pathway. As you start going that way, you see that other pathway just closes off. You run down, and this pathway actually like starts to close behind you, almost like pushing you forward as you reach this again another small clearing, maybe a little bit larger than when you were in, and you see Brass in the center of it, just brambled and hurt. You see blood where these brambles have dug into his scales. It's like, Chad, I'm not strong enough. Help me.
Dad's gonna kneel down in front of him. Because I imagine he's sort of down, so I can that works height wise. And Chad's gonna say, "You are strong enough, Brask. You can break you can break yourself out. You can get yourself free. You are strong enough. You don't need me."
I like it. Roll me a persuasion check, please, sir.
14.
14, okay.
Ooh.
I love having a +5 on my
Yeah.
all those things.
Yep.
You watch as Brass is like, yes, I am strong enough. And you watch as he starts like digging, and you see as he starts moving his arms, like these are scratching against more brambles, but he just sort of starts tearing away bits and pieces, and starts freeing himself.
Cool.
He doesn't look like he's going to quite be able to do it by himself, but he is making a much bigger effort than he was beforehand. It's like, we're stronger together. Help me! And he starts tearing these away, but still asking for your help.
Okay, yeah. Together. Yes. Together. And Chad's gonna help. Now that it's confirmed that it's a together thing.
You don't have to roll for this. Like, easily enough with a sword on the outside perspective, you're able to cut away at pieces, and he just comes like
Well,
collapsing.
I would like to not use the sword.
Okay, fair enough.
Okay.
In that case, you're using your hands. Please roll me an athletics check.
Yeah.
As it's somewhat harder to use your physical strength.
Sake, 7.
It's fine. Between you and Brass, it does work. Only for a natural one. However, you do take some damage. You take 3 points of piercing damage. As you do have to get your arms in there, and some of these brambles do scratch in the gaps between your armor. But you do pull Brask out, and he does sort of collapse onto your shoulders. He does, just breathing heavily. You can feel there's a physicality to his body and a weight. Like, you're getting more and more confirmation that this probably is the real Brask.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Cool.
You see? You are strong. We're strong together.
And as this, you're having this moment, this embrace, the clearing you're in just expands slightly.
Okay.
And then there is another tear where an opening turns up, and you see coming through what appears to be some sort of like tiny alleyway. You see Tali, Pebble, and Christina
All right.
leading a donkey in tow. As you guys see, what you just turn a corner, and suddenly there was a clearing, and you see Chad and Brask.
Hey!
Oh, thank
no.
you. You're fine.
Thank fuck for this.
Yeah.
Can I also
Are you hurt? Do you need any healing?
Yeah, medicine checks.
Well, can I double check just before we're like close enough to have
Are you
a
really?
dialogue? Am I far enough along to need to do any kind of saving throw to see if the fact that I am right next to a bleeding Brask, if that has any effect
Not
on me?
currently, no.
Okay, good.
I think, especially in the moment of focus of companionship and stuff like that, like you are. But
Plus,
yeah,
Chomp.
plus
Yeah,
you're charged up. You already have your little.
in the spirit of companionship, I don't mind if I help myself.
No.
I've helped you, now you help me.
Caring
Yeah.
is caring.
It
yeah,
is hard,
good.
like you're having to like really almost like clench your teeth. But yes, like to but you're not ravenous yet.
Yet.
Good.
The key word today is yet.
Yet. But yes, you see your potentially companions, but again, the fact that you've seen Brask, who seems to be real, it makes you feel a bit more confident. This is your companions.
Is anybody hurt?
Brask looks quite injured. You can see gashes in his scales.
Oh, have I already done the medicine
Yeah,
on
I think you
Brask?
have.
You did on Brask, yeah.
But,
You can rest this.
Like, how does he look? Does he look bloodied or less than?
Yes, it looks bloodied.
Oh,
I can go over and do a first level cure wounds. You're gonna go over like it's okay, Brask. I'm just gonna just patch you up, and then you sort of like the rub her hands together to get warm, and then sort of like a light will emanate from her hands. So he will heal for something for 7. Yeah.
Cool. He just sort of puts a hand on your shoulder. Thank you. As you're casting that spell, clearing expands again once more.
Nice.
Chad, are you okay?
I think so. Yep.
The others heard some
Uh,
voices. I don't know if you had that too. I haven't heard anything, surprisingly.
Tali.
Hmm?
Tell me something that only you would know.
Just like here, now,
Yeah, I
in front of everyone.
yes.
Let me consult my notes. What would only I know that isn't the obvious?
Have I got any other options here, please?
Do I have any other options? Let's see. I don't remember. Does Chad know that he talks in his sleep?
You have discussed it, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, we did.
Yeah. So well, sometimes when you sleep recently, you talk in your sleep, like a repeating pattern of in some language I've not heard before.
Thank you.
Why?
Just need to know that you really are my friends.
No, 1 second. Sorry. I know that I'm breaking a very nice moment. But the forest was able to determine that you were a vampire, so how is this validation for anything? I'm so sorry.
Dad's accepting it as
Okay.
validation.
That isn't the smartest.
Sleep
boy
in the same
world.
room as Chad, okay?
Right, yeah, fine. It was a very nice moment.
Chad's vampire to fucking
Yeah, that's
detect
it.
magic check.
You also, ruined the
The
moment.
reeks of necromancy.
Ruined the moment. You actually called you friends.
So,
That's true.
Yeah.
Use the F word.
Oh, I mean, Ty's just like, well, of course we are. What else?
that's not something that Chad would say. No, I'm
Shelley is
suspicious.
obviously very confused.
Sorry.
Yes, I heard voice. I heard voice.
I heard voice.
I heard a voice. It used the voice of my father, and I didn't tell it what I wanted it to know, but I want to tell you, all of you.
Yeah,
And
well,
I
you're not-
just, I haven't. There is a thing that Tali, you know this.
Oh no.
Not here.
I haven't told you this because
Chad. Are you sure you want to do this right here, right now?
Yes.
Oh my god.
Okay.
I haven't told you this beforehand, up until now, because I've been scared out of my mind about this, and hearing my father's voice being used like a puppet to make me think about this has completely thrown me. I don't want to tell the forest, I don't want to tell whatever that thing was, but it's time I need to tell the rest of you that something happened to me, and I am now cursed in some way. And I'm scared, but I trust that you're going to accept that I am still who I am.
We're gonna cure you, Chad. We're gonna cure him.
There you go.
As you sort of
Sorry.
finish saying that,
I have
Brass
an
like
idea.
pulls you a little bit into his shoulder and goes, "We are stronger together. We will fix this." But also, while Chad has been saying that, the forest clearing has continued to expand, and eventually expands to a point where almost like a tide receding. It just kind of moves back, and eventually, at the very edge, you see that tall 10-foot figure again, standing at the edge of the clearing. You're now in a clearing that has 12 of these owl statues around it.
Mm.
And you see standing next to this figure is Warriolf.
Wow.
Not wooden, not bound to the floor, just there, sort of just next to the figure. And you hear this figure's voice once more. You indeed spoke true. Despite my fears, you mortals do not have treachery in your hearts. You are rare among your kind, selfless beings. You look after one another and those who need protecting. I will make sure this one, and the arm reaches down towards Warrior, finds a welcome home here. She will be protected and fed, and will be introduced to more of her kind.
Cute.
You have the thanks of the Dale Wind. And you have my thanks.
Can we get our cart back?
Do not worry about that.
I'm really sorry, but I don't want to just leave it. Thank you for Wolf. I hope that she'll be happy. Hope you'll be happy, Wolf.
Wolf just sort of reaches. It kind of actually comes over to you and just like, oh, your thanks, my friends, for finding Wolf new home.
Okay.
Maybe come visit sometime.
Yeah.
I mean, as long as we don't have to, challenge ourselves and all that, it's fine. Pebble doesn't say that. Pebble just kneels and bows.
The tall figure speaks to you and like, go on now in peace. You have the blessing of the Dale Wind, and know that you have a friend in my Celeste Vismar.
That's...
Now wake up. And you all suddenly just burst awake and you realize that you are asleep. You find yourself
It's not his immediate reaction.
outside of the woods.
Okay.
The cart has been parked up and you are all just in a small campfire outside of the woods. Wolf is not with you.
Oh.
You all have a long rest.
Hey!
I mean, yay! Oh
And-
man. Can I recover my have some food and drink, have some noms, get our
All your exhaustion points are removed, all your stress points are removed.
Hey!
Hell yeah!
And not only that, do you feel emboldened? As you are all gonna gain something called the Blessing of the Dale Wind.
Oh, that's very nice.
That's quite exciting.
A little bit metagamey, but what it basically means is for the next 7 days, all of your constitution scores are increased by 2.
Hell
that's
yeah!
Ooh.
I will add that to your character sheet between this session and the next.
That's quite exciting.
But yeah, you'll come too. It is daylight outside. You feel incredibly rested. And you can look amongst each other.
Good.
Charlie's the immediate response was to wake up and go, damn it!
As
Why?
you do that, wake up and go, damn it. You realise you tug and there is still a ribbon tied to your hand that connects you to Pebble.
Oh, alright.
That's kind of nice.
Why is Sally saying damn it though?
I mean, you want to ask in character or no? Or...
No. Well, no. Pebble hugs Chad.
Oh,
It's
Chad
like
hugs back.
It do be like that, and in hugging, Pebble exposes this bit of his neck. No, let's not go there. Sorry. Sorry.
You
I envision-
you flirting with Chad?
It's like the in Baldur's Gate 3.
Oh, I
Yes,
didn't-
it's
Oh,
fine.
what were you saying, Verity?
so if Ollie and Pebble are chained together, assume that
Yes.
Ollie's
And
everyone's chained to each other. So
Yes. You're also changing.
Everyone just-
and the donkey.
Yeah.
And the donkey who's asleep next to you.
Okay.
And
Does this
Pebble was
become a-
kind of still curled up sorry, Spider's still curled up in Pebble's
Yeah.
arms.
so does this become a group hug? Chain reaction?
Oh, that's nice.
I hope that's
Yeah.
what you were going for. Yeah.
So yeah, there's Chad, there's Spider, and there's Pebble,
That's
and then you all
better.
sort of like wrap yourself around, and
Oh,
then Brass slings his arms over the top of you
Yeah.
from above and gives you a big hug.
Oh.
And then Jennifer just outside is just like, "Eh."
Can I speak with animals and inquire what that meant? No, no.
You just hear, "What about me?"
Come over.
And that is where we'll end today's session.
Hey. Oh, that was good.
Look at us, power of friendship.
Power of
Power of
friendship.
friendship.
Alright.
Always, always,
But just
always.
as we see, so I want you to imagine if this was like a film or a TV show, the camera panning away
Oh.
from you as you have this warm embrace at the edge of the forest, and the camera sort of pulls up into the clouds. And then after a moment, it starts to descend back down on the city of Dalbridge, slowly zooming in and in and in on the Five Fellows, the pub you know well, but not as you know it. The front door has been destroyed, kicked in. You see flashes of light within it, and you just hear the voice of Bertrand like, Helga! Helga, no! No! Gods, get away from me! No! And that's where we end today's session.
Elka?
What
What did she do?
She's a meanie. Okay, oh, that's a roller coaster. That's something to think about. Oh my
Okay.
god.
Oh, why couldn't we just have one day?
Like, you don't know about that, Corinne. That is for the players' benefits.
Yeah,
Very good.
that's fine.
Very good.
Some good news though. You all level up.
Hey.
Yay!
You are now level 5, everybody.
Level
Yeah.
five.
Level up
Yes,
for
we
the
are.
power of friendship.
Yes.
Feel like some sort of pony.
What?
Yeah.
Friendship is magic.
Oh, yes.
The irony of Ryan not being here for that
I
moment as
know.
well is
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, I get
Yeah.
exciting things at 5th level. That's exciting.
yeah, I think most of you all have science things.
Ooh.
I'll level
Yeah.
up later.
Well done, guys. You passed the test of the Dalewind.
Hey,
Oh.
the wind do be very Dale. I don't know.
That's alright. But yeah, no, I'm glad you enjoyed that. I'm glad you dealt with the trial the way you did. Very interesting to see you all being tested in various ways. Will, you had the inspiration token. Who would you like to give it to this time?
This is genuinely a really, really difficult choice.
It'll probably happen more and more as we keep playing now.
Yeah, there was some amazing stuff on it throughout the whole thing. Unai, I thought you did some amazing, some amazing stuff. Sarah,
Thank
the whole thing with the Genethy in the cart, just lovely. I'm going to give it to Verity purely for this distraction is not ideal.
Yes.
That was I think the best encapsulation of who Christina is that
Yeah.
we've had so
Yeah.
far.
Yeah.
So yeah, just for that line.
Lovely.
Excellent.
Thank you very
Fantastic.
much.
Well done.
Yay, well done.
Put it to very good use next time.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Hopefully. Well, there's a certain situation going on somewhere in Dalbridge that you will probably end up going back to, I imagine.
Yep.
Unless you decide to just continue your fake mission to Historia to go deliver.
Yeah.
No.
Cool. Cool.
Yes, cool. So we'll leave it there today, guys. So thank you very much for watching us. I
Yay.
hope you enjoyed our game. If you did, obviously you can catch us again here in 2 weeks' time at the same time. If you follow us, subscribe, whatever it is, you can find out when we go live. That'd be very nice. If you want to rewatch our last session, that is now up on YouTube. This session will be up on YouTube next weekend.
Technology.
And you can also find us on Twitter at Smitey Games if you want to hear about when we go live and when we put our YouTube videos up, that kind of thing. But that's it. So we've been Small and Mai. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye.